Thanks for tuning in to Tattoo Collecting 101 right here on Guy Atchison's Reinventing the Tattoo. And if you haven't joined us before, the Reinventing the Tattoo is a community for tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and all those curious about the world of tattooing. And we encourage everyone to join these live streams and real-world events. We aim to educate and inspire one another to create better art and tattoos and to ultimately leave this community a better place than how we found it. We stream out most days of the week, so be sure to check out the full schedule of events, as well as professional development courses from over 20 world-class tattooers at reinventingthetattoo.com. You can also find us on our Roku channel, as well as all your favorite podcast platforms, such as search for Reinventing the Tattoo and you'll find us. And real quick, we just want to say thank you to the sponsors who make this network possible. So thank you to World Tattoo Events, which has the largest, most comprehensive list of tattoo conventions going on in the world right now, as well as Tattoo Now, technology for tattooers. They're the leading edge in professional development, management, and digital tools for tattooers of all levels. As well as thank you to the affiliates of the Fireside Tattoo Network and the Apprentice Diaries. And if you enjoy the knowledge we're putting out, be sure to share it with a friend and check out another video. And lastly, real quick, just want to say thank you to Guy Atchison, who makes this possible. He's the founder and the inspiration behind the community. So you can go to guyatchison.com to get your copy of the Biomech Encyclopedia, instructional DVDs, original paintings, and custom coil machines.
Kyle, what a great job. We were pestering you the whole entire time. And you
I dropped it in the beginning, picked it back up, and then the ripping and tearing happened.
The ripping and tearing happened. That sounds like a horrible porn. Or sorry, 3 seconds in.
Just the ripping and the tearing, baby.
Just the ripping and the tearing. Yeah, Kyle, good job.
Thanks.
talking about tattoos.
Speaking of tattoos, slow the machine down, slow your arm down, right? I learned that the other day. I filleted open a piece of fake skin and was like, oh, I should probably not do
does
that.
perforate and serrate all at
Got a
once.
little baby line, you got that thing ripping hard enough.
I gotta be honest, guys, it feels good to be here with you. I've been on the road so much lately
Yeah.
that it feels like I've hardly seen you.
That's true. We hung out this afternoon and I had to think about the last time we hung out, and I was like, that's sad. Just the thought of having to think about it, you know.
I mean, it's definitely been a handful of weeks
Kyle,
since
turn me
we've
down,
had
please.
since we've had like just regular hangout time outside of podcast.
Yeah, life's stupid.
I think I could actually come up a little bit. Or maybe my headphones just need to come up.
I'm coming up.
I want the world to know. Come on, Kyle. Where were you on that?
What?
Hanging.
I don't know.
Just hanging.
He's always hanging. One of these days, Kyle's gonna just spontaneously start breaking into song.
No,
with
he's
us.
not. Don't put expectations out there that they're never gonna get met.
The weird
That's how
thing is,
disappointment
the weird
happens.
thing is when it happens when we're not doing show stuff and we like
That is fair.
spontaneously break into songs.
Isn't that when it really counts, though?
I feel like
No.
yes, that's when it really counts, but that's also kind of what makes it a little bit like,
I forgot to tell you that I am not just psychic.
connected.
I can telekinetically send you thoughts.
Telekinetically,
I'm
mind bullets.
I'm like Professor X, but I got my legs. You know,
Nice.
I can be like,
Nice.
sing this song on 3, 2, and you just, yep. So, where you been? What have you been doing?
I've been at tattoo shows.
Yeah.
So we did Philly.
You call it a
which was
tattoo show.
huge.
I call it abandonment.
I don't mean to abandon. Aw, that hurts my heart.
Oh, you know I kid.
So we did Philly. We've recapped the Philly show, which was awesome. Since then, I've been to the Pittsburgh show.
And we linked up in Pittsburgh.
Yep. And Kyle came over to Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
And then just this past weekend, I was in Detroit. Last week I came to you. I joined in. You had Wes on.
Yeah.
It was a great show. I actually was like listening about 92% of the time.
Nice. Wes and I have known each other so long that that's just him and I sitting down. I remember at one point we were both like, this is going to have no variant on anybody listening to this show, but let's
Well,
go down this bunny trail together.
I actually when I realized that Wes was going to be joining in, it was like, oh man, I can just like give like a quick rundown of what's going on, make a lap, show off the setup, and then Ben and Wes will have a fantastic conversation. And
Yeah,
you guys did.
We can talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's known me my entire adult life. There's not many people that can draw on that many stories. We haven't even scraped the surface
I love it.
of
'cause,
some of
like,
the awesome Westness.
you've spent so much time in tattoo shops. Like we have this thing all the time. Ben's like, I don't even have a reason to talk about this stuff. But like you've spent as much time in tattoo studios as a lot of tattooers.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would. I mean, you've learned a lot. You know the community, you're passionate about the community, and it's really cool because I didn't know you in those days, but Wes did. So it's cool that he can bring out those stories and
Right.
that side of you and that like the young tattoo enthusiast.
Wes had to calm me down. I remember at one point he was like, no, bro, we're not like, no. It's not that I won't do the tattoo, but like that one's healing, that one's healing, that one's healing. Like you're good.
Just slow down.
You're good.
Slow it down.
Easy cheetah. Easy cheetah.
I want tattooed everywhere.
So essentially for a long time, I paid Wes every week when I got paid. And then every other week I got tattooed.
Sounds like a solid plan.
It was a lot of tattooing. We did that for a couple years. Like, yeah, lots of, sometimes it was a good session, sometimes it was an hour, sometimes it was 8, like I'll just depended on the day.
Yesterday I had one of my clients like that. I've worked on her and her fiance for years and years, and like some days when I sit down and work on either one of them, it's more like we do more visiting than we do tattooing. Like, yes, tattooing happens, but it'll be like, you know, how I like to, if my clients smoke, I'll sit and smoke with them. Like in this situation,
we're supposed to do a tattoo.
yeah,
Hold on,
it's like,
upstairs.
we'll be down at this in the smoking area for like 45 minutes, and it's like, oh well, here comes somebody else. So then we smoke some more and visit some more and visit some more and talk some more and catch up, and then we go up, we work for like a couple hours, and then we like visit for a couple more hours.
Let's smoke. Speaking of, I'm gonna talk to your manager, see if I can't figure out a
get some time
tatting time here soon.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
It has longer than I
we
cared
started a whole new area, and then I haven't worked on you in forever.
I had a memory on one of the social medias come through saying we had started the whole thing over a year ago. Maybe it was 2 years. 2
Maybe
years.
2 years.
I think it has been 2 years at this point.
Because it's big. I mean, we've done a lot, but we have a long way to go. No, I'm just saying. Like,
no, we knew it was an endeavor, and sometimes that's kind of daunting because, we know we're connected. Like, there's not this like, oh, I don't want them to leave the shop or move on or move forward or like it. I know you're not going anywhere, so there's not this like immediate like, and it is a big project, so it's like, oh, we've been chipping away at it. Seems to just be a real easy excuse for me. I need to have some fortitude, and that's where it gets tough. Like, you need to have some fortitude to get this kind of stuff done, because
it's true.
It's not something I see every day.
We're in the same city, and we have the luxury of being homies, and like,
yeah.
On top of that, like if somebody cancels or something, I can be like, hey Ben, I got next
Flop
Tuesday.
on in here. Yeah. And that's I like being that homie. I like being the back.
Even with that, sometimes it still just takes forever.
And I almost think that I don't want to say my responsibility, but my job to wait for those moments. Because like, we are homies. I'd rather wait for the got canceled on time. I was planning on tattooing, like,
yeah.
And then it's not another burden, and I'm not taking scheduling time from you.
Yeah, all those things are fair. But at the same time, we'll have a session where like you've been gung-ho and ready to get tattooed, and then we sit down and you're like, you know what? Let's just go smoke some weed.
That happened like one time.
I'm not even criticizing. I'm just saying that's how it goes.
That's
Like,
how it rolls.
I've
sometimes.
had clients show up and like we get to talking and visiting because, like my routine is like that first half hour or so, I'm literally just settling in with my client and like feeling out the vibe, getting on their level, and then get
What
on
are we gonna
mine. Just
do
like,
today?
yeah, just
Right.
like relaxing with one another. I don't know. I just feel like that moment of like just kind of like putting everything to the side and like knowing that it's just me and my client
Yep.
for the rest of the day. I
Yep.
think that really kind of helps the process for me.
I tend to pick hobbies on things that I can shut everything else down and just focus on that. That's why I like tattooing. I'm not on my phone. I'm not thinking about 3,000 things. I am getting tattooed. My focus is on, and that's it. Because fuck, that hurts. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or jujitsu is the same way. I don't want to die. Stop choking me. Is
Yeah.
all I'm thinking
You
about.
have to set everything else aside to accomplish the task.
Motorcycles, pavement teaches you lessons really fast, and it cuts really quick. Bicycles, misrearranged face.
I mean, it was only my teeth,
It's just my face.
broken nose, concussion, never.
MBD. So like having that total focus is hard for me in day to day with my rabbit ADD ass. So having the hobbies to rein me in, I don't realize how therapeutical and how much that's actually
Therapeutical.
therapeutical. Is that a good
All
word?
right, and yeah, sure.
Therapeutic. Therapeutical sounded so good. You should have just let it roll.
It did. It sounded like a good one.
Uh,
Sounded like.
but you don't realize you need, because you're that time isn't something I planned for, if you will. And when I haven't been doing those said things, I realize that my brain gets all out of like non-focus and I'm all scattery and can't get shit done because I can't hold a fucking train of thought for more than 40 seconds.
I don't know. That is something cool about tattooing, is it really does, like, as many places as my brain can bounce when I sit down and I tattoo, there's really like,
This is it. This is what I'm doing.
there's like a couple different places that my brain even has the capacity to bounce.
And again, that's why I like being immersed in the conventions and stuff like that. It's such sensory overload.
If you can pull off a good tattoo at a convention, if you can pull off an award-winning tattoo at a show,
You got focus, man.
yeah, you got you're able to overcome all kinds of distractions, or maybe even work with the distractions. I feel like when you can be an artist of the caliber that we're at both of these shows, like, it shows that it just kind of shows that you're on a different level, because there are all kinds of different distractions at shows. A lot of times artists are multitasking the entire day and still doing award-winning work. And just like, I had the privilege of judging with Derb for some of the competitions in Pittsburgh, and then in Detroit, of course, I'm nosy with my camera all over the stage. Like, I get, but it kind of gave me like a front row seat to see the kind of huge work that's being done. There were some small pieces that were in like the tattoo of the day competitions, but most of these pieces were really large, really good quality. There are more and more people sitting down and doing like 2-person, 2-day, 3-day collabs. Like, there's really big work getting done really quickly, and the quality is top notch.
I think in the past 4 or 5 years, and I don't pay that close of attention, so it might have been longer than that. I've seen a huge boost in the collab all weekend projects. And it's like that seems, I don't want to call it a trend. I don't like using those words, but like over the past 4 or 5 years, it shifted from, hey, let's get this jammer, to these artists are intentionally trying to fill that entire time while they're there. And they're using it as a highlight of the event. So I know a lot of people are being like, hey, these two artists that aren't normally in the same place at the same time are
Mhm.
going to be at this event, and they want to fill their entire schedule while they're there. So it's really cool to see the bigger stuff coming around just because of the growth of the convention. It didn't used to be that way 5-6 years ago. You know how many different shows there are now?
I mean, we're just talking about 2 shows that we need to catch up on. But like, for instance, last weekend we were in Detroit, but there was the Cleveland show going on
Right.
simultaneously. There was Literary Ink. There was one
There was
in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I believe.
There was a
We're
Harry
just talking
Potter
the mid-
themed one.
Yeah, that's the Literary Ink one. And we're just talking like Midwest.
Yeah.
Like that's all in
That's
the
our
same
half.
region. That's not even talking about anything that was going on like down
There's a
south. That's not
convention
talking
in
about
Florida,
anything
too.
that was going on out west.
There's a
Um,
convention in Florida too.
Yeah, they were all in the same weekend. So we live in a time that there are so many tattooers and so many collectors that there are so many conventions around the country that
Right.
it's not we're going to go to the next convention in a few months, or we're going to go to the next convention next month. It's which convention are we going to go to which weekend, because there are
And it's
multiple to choose from
And
any
it's
weekend.
easier to schedule with your clients that way.
It can be. It can be.
If they're already planning on traveling to come to
Mm.
a show and they have the opportunity to get with 2 people that they would normally not, it's a VIP dreamless deal. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I feel like I'm selling a fucking timeshare vacation right now. And just for the same price, if you travel to Philadelphia, you can get in touch with.
But then we got to talk about like what city is it going to be in? Like, do you want to enjoy the city? Do you want to hit any museums? Do you want, you
I
know
ain't
what I
doing
mean?
shit when I'm there for a convention. You know what I'm doing when there's extra time? Sleeping.
When we were in Pittsburgh, Jess and I snuck off and went to the Andy Warhol Museum, which was pretty stinking rad. I
Okay,
don't know
fair,
how
that
you,
sounds
I
really
don't know if you know how I feel about Andy Warhol.
Oh no, you've never
but like
expressed that.
my
to me
first
ever.
tattoo was at Andy Warhol. So there's a little bit of like it's connected. It was appropriate.
Little fun trivia,
We had to go.
some trivia.
Privia.
Trivia. Trivia.
Sounds like some crazy medication for
Trivia.
something.
Depression, not time sleeping, thoughts of suicide, into your head. Let your doctor know. May cause anal leakage.
Even got Kyle giggling on that one.
That's a
Trivia.
trivia. That's actually a Robin Williams joke. He does that on live on Broadway.
You know what I'm thinking of is Activia, the probiotic.
Yeah,
yogurt. That's what
yeah.
it is.
He has a whole like 2.5 minute rant about
How the medicine's gonna kill you before what it's trying to cure.
and the commercials are super hype on the disease. Like, look, you can have a normal life with herpes. Look at this man running down the beach with his arms wide open.
Camera flare,
it's-
sun glistening.
It's fucking hilarious.
That's like every medication.
Kick it up to the
commercial.
OG Robin Williams. They've actually gotten a lot better than they were in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. Like they were used to be
I see some now still though, and there's just like, yeah, I'm at the cookout.
right. Like
Yeah, I'm hiking
Yeah.
the trail with
Bye,
my golden
Vans.
retriever.
right. Your dog doesn't have chlamydia. Get him off the fucking screen. Like the fuck is this?
Wow.
Or whatever disease. Heart problems. I don't know.
Well, I hope that clears up soon.
That was,
3 to 5 days.
that was a quick derail. So
No, speaking of Pittsburgh,
yeah. What about we're back to Pittsburgh. Had some delicious food in Pittsburgh.
I did too. Whatever we got delivered was really good. The pizza, just for being like shitty round town pizza, was
Mhm.
delicious. Put artichokes on
In
it.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
No, that was expensive pizza.
It was good.
Good. It wasn't cheap.
Mom's like, I paid $900.
No,
for two
I
pizzas.
because usually when we do conventions, like our group, we're pretty mindful about eating well. So we
Yeah.
actually like feel decent the next day because we're
Yeah.
gonna be tired regardless.
Pizza's even like
So
kind of a dive for us.
When I was searching for the pizza, I was searching for a good quality pizza that I thought would maybe not be like chocked full of like gluten and
High
bloat
acidity.
causing breads.
So we're all
and-
dead.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked the pizza
It
because
was-
I tried to choose a good
It
one.
was wonderful.
I don't remember what it was called. I'd have to look at Uber Eats and
It was called Good.
well, apparently they've got good pizza there.
Yeah, but the show was a lot of fun. I really liked the way it was laid out. The way it kind of all flowed, but I didn't like that the stage was offset.
But the stage was the stage was in like a separate part of the
Right.
building. It was like up and out of the way. I thought that was a little inconvenient, but the room, it was like a big conference room that they used for the stage
Right.
area.
The
It was
hotel
a
was
nice room.
great.
There was plenty of space for like the people that were lining up for the competitions. There was like this nice little hallway off to the side that they could kind of snake through. So it made it a little bit less like crowded as they were waiting to be judged.
In actual convention space, it flowed really well. They had that one main room and then they had like a few hallways that you could go through. And it all mapped to where like you weren't elbow bumping the whole time. So
Mhm.
like there was a crowd there, but didn't, like you're saying about the other one that was laid out that way, it didn't feel crowded. But I really didn't like the stage being on the other side of the room. Now I'm sure that was a hotel
wonder how-
decision because
I'm
it
sure
drew
it
everybody
was.
through the bar and into the lobby.
I
'Cause there
wonder
was
how many- I
space.
wonder how many people missed out on that stage area altogether. I know there were banners and there were like pull-up signs, but people don't read. They have the ability. It can be
Yeah.
right in front of their face. Like somebody could tune to this and watch for 10 minutes
Well,
and they're going to be like, I can't even for the life of me think of what the show was called.
hear me out, and I mean this in the most polite way possible. If you're gonna have somebody MC, the point of an MC is to engage the entire crowd and to entice people and to remind people when the events are happening to draw attention to the stage. So when you limit the MC's sound, which I'm sure working conventions, listening to the clamoring of the stage might get old sometimes. And I understand that the artist might have had a different point of view on this. But the point of having somebody there in the microphone and announcing and calling all these things is to draw attention to the shows, to draw attention. So I would feel like you're not getting your bang for your buck as someone that is promoting to have entertainment that isn't main.
Hmm.
It
I always-
felt very sideshow, if that makes sense, instead of the show.
Yeah, I could definitely see that for sure. Because
I'm selfish
For-
and think
for
that the
me-
stage show is the tattoo show because that's my role in what we do. But like, it's not. It's about tattoos and tattooers. I get that. I fully understand that. But in my mind, the production is going on.
And watching what's going on the stage, and like let's say it's a burlesque performer, let's say it's Captain and Maybell, or let's say it's a band. Like I like watching, and then I love like looking over my shoulder and seeing a tattoo being done right there as well. So for me, that's honestly the only reason I don't like that the stage area was away from the tattoos, just because it literally just kind of separated it. And like you said, you just hit the nail on the head. It felt like a sideshow where I
And
don't
the
know,
caliber
maybe
of performers that they had there were amazing. Like there was no slouches in the lineup.
Yep, Cervena performed, Captain and Maybell performed.
I mean, those are heavy hitters for our industry. So like to
I
have
just love them. I've seen their act so many times, but I love
in every
every
time.
time I hang out with or every time I see them, I end up hanging out with them. And I just
it
love
blows my
talking to
mind that they
them.
remember who I am. Like we've met a handful of times, don't get me wrong, but like the amount of people that they meet, like
Mhm.
you guys do conventions every weekend. Like I'm always impressed. They're like,
Not every,
"Hey,
but a
how's it
lot.
going
Yeah,
to
no,
go?"
they're really awesome. And like I think once you actually like connect, they remember.
Yeah. Well, when you work all weekend with somebody, that's trauma bonding. Like each other when it's over.
Yeah, when you're like looking at each other and you
Uh-huh.
both know that your ankles and knees and feet are all hurting the same way, and you're so tired that you're on the verge of a headache just because
Yep.
you're tired.
Yep.
Like We've been there. We've seen some things.
Next month is buy shoes for Hell City month, because you buy them and you break them in. So they're ready to go and nice and soft and squishy, but still supportive for the show.
That's
I
actually,
base my footwear.
Mhm.
Last year I fucked it up. I got a pair right before. They were
I-
Stiffersons.
was just thinking to myself that I needed to get some new shoes because I've been wearing these Chucks. They're not even that old, but I have put a ton of miles on them.
You want to go kick shopping?
Shows. Yeah, I gotta get. I don't know. I think I want to get another pair of like minimalist trail shoes, and then I should get like some actual nice like walking or standing shoes. as well.
Can I sway your opinion from the minute?
Oh, I love 'em.
Yeah,
I've
I
had
did
multiple
too.
pair.
I had tons of pairs.
Yeah.
So I blew out my calf.
Well, I'm not climbing on ladders and roofing.
It was a little baby roof. It wasn't even like super steep or nothing.
No, I hear you. I like
you
the
just
minimalist
be
because it's the
careful.
next thing, the next best thing to just being barefoot.
And that's what I loved about them as well. And I had, like I said, I had 4 or 5 pairs. But yeah, not having any type of arch, not having any type of foot, anything. When my calf blew, that was the direct correlation.
Yeah, when we're talking weekends, even if
8
we're
months.
on or in a carpeted ballroom, and both of these shows were carpeted, they were really nice.
It's still concrete on fucking
Yeah.
indoor, outdoor, thin ass carpet. Like,
Yeah, and a lot of people, they'll have back pain, middle to lower back pain, and they can't figure out why. And a lot of times your shoes are just shot.
yep.
I one time somebody was talking to me and a friend, and they were talking about how their back was horrible, and they were just talking about they couldn't get this shooting pain to stop, and I was like, I noticed like they were kicked back with their feet under the table, and I like looked
Busted your
down.
kicks.
He's got boots on, and they're rad looking boots, but they're boots that he's probably worn these same boots every day for like 15 years. And that's what makes them look rad. And that's what makes them like a signature boot. But what do you think those boots are doing for his ankles, knees, hips, and back? Probably nothing. Probably
especially if they're
making
like
it
big,
worse.
thick leather boots. Yes.
Yeah. And I've definitely had boots that I was so attached to. So like I
get
get it when you've got that classic pair of boots, but when you're at a convention, you've really got to think about like your skeletal health. And that starts with shoes.
There was a time in my life where I didn't own anything but boots. I had light boots, I had low boots, I had hiking boots, I had daily wear, you know what I mean? Like they were I had different, but everything was a boot. And I was like, I was right before Hell City last year. I was like, I need a shoe. Like I don't own. I went from barefoot minimalist, and I was like, fuck it. I went to boots after that. I don't wear nothing but boots.
BOUTS.
Boots.
Boots.
I had to strengthen my muscles back up.
It's okay. I'm not criticizing.
I
just
feel
like the way you said
criticized.
it. I was not criticizing. I was
Boots.
not a criticized
So-
criticized.
Leah and her family often fall into a southern accent joking around, but then it sticks for hours. And you don't realize that you've been talking in your southern accent.
It happens every time I watch
Ow.
Django Unchained.
Django. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem.
So sometimes I've adopted words that I don't even realize that I'm boots. Yep.
Well, the funny thing is if I hang out with somebody with a real accent, I start to like pick up those mannerisms pretty quickly. Like I'll catch myself, like if I spend any amount of time up in Michigan and then I come back, it's like, oh wow, everybody talks really slow in Ohio. I forgot.
My whole family on my mother's side carries an accent. It is thick, thick. Like fucking crunchy
Thicker than
peanut
Snicker.
butter, like ugh. And you come back realizing you've been just raw and everything just a little bit, just because they don't understand what the fuck you're saying unless you slang
Slow
it down just a little. No
Slow it
cornbread.
down.
You mean cornbread? No, I said cornbread. Cornbread,
say
yeah, cornbread.
Over there next to the washcloth.
Yeah, it did in the toilet. What? Yes, ma'am.
Turlet,
I just yes, ma'am.
washcloth.
I just yes, ma'am a lot. You know, yes, ma'am. And that just solves a lot of problems. And you end up eating a lot of shit you didn't want to eat, but like it's cool.
So I don't know if this is a Michigan thing or just like the community that I grew up in, but like we would say a lot.
Uh-huh.
That's a yes. That's an affirmative.
Yeah, that's confirmed.
Where like when I'd come back down here to visit, like let's say I was talking to my aunts or my grandmother, sure, I'll take one. I'd say and they'd like look at me with a question mark above their eyebrow, and I'd be like, yes. And like, oh, okay.
Questions growing up were confirmed with a yes, ma'am, or sir when I grew up. So was not an answer, nor was I'm coming. You had just to be there, like so. It depends on the context. Professional voice in comparison to homies is different.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. The manners were thick.
Yeah. Thick manners. Well, do you think we should roll some of this?
Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Can I screen share on this device, Kyle?
Kyle, can she screen share on that device?
Oh no, go ahead and do what
What?
you're doing.
No,
You're already
no.
halfway there. Let's stick to the plan.
There's a plan.
Yeah, there's a light plan. He was gonna
Oh,
switch to
did
the other
Kyle-
angle.
did Kyle pre-plan something?
We planned. It took a moment, but there
You mean
was
Fawn
plan.
planned something? You agreed? Oh, okay. I was gonna give you props, but no. I know. That's why I stopped.
Ooh, you know what? Let's get this footage going, and then I'll run and get coffee for us.
What are we doing
Ben,
first?
I was just gonna say, why is it so quiet here?
What do I literally started talking because nobody else was.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing first?
Well, we're getting there.
We're doing Pittsburgh first.
I will throw a shoe at you, Kyle.
Aw.
I need to start bringing soft things to throw at you. Just so I don't feel bad.
Little squishy ball.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Just no, because then you'll never give it back. I need like a bucket of squishy balls. If anybody has a bucket of squishy balls, they're willing to donate to the set.
We'll toss them back and forth
No,
to
we
each
won't.
other.
I'll chuck them at your face.
Okay.
This
All right.
hotel was really cool.
Yeah, you can switch to this.
I really liked the design of it. I really liked the bar and the layout. Oh, the lobby right here, just like this. They had these really cool quiet rooms off here to the right that are right behind those signs that you can't see right now. Oh,
There
no,
they
there's
are.
one that were little booths that you opened up that giant door, and when you sat down inside of it, it was like it's a little contained environment. It was super quiet. They were sound baffled, whatever you want to call it. And you could like have your own little like in the midst of the cray cray.
Yeah, they're just like nice little conversation boxes.
Is that what they call them? Conversation
That's what
boxes?
somebody called it. I don't know if that's what they
Oh,
were
it was the creepy guy that worked there. Do you remember he made some other weird comment? And we were like, bro, this is like my sister. That was gross. I don't remember what he said, but it was something along the lines of naughty things happen in there. And I was
Oh.
like,
And I'm like, it's all clear. There's no privacy.
Excuse me, young man.
There's not real privacy.
I think you have misjudged this situation. Fawn is not my lover. I mean, I love her, but she is not my lover. Look at Dirk
Aw, look at
doing Dirk
Brian.
Costa. Oh, Brian.
Hiding from me.
Playing peekaboo.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to be right there next to the entrance.
I love that guy. Brian's one of my favorite people in the whole goddamn world. I want to pet his face every time I see him.
Cervena. Tattoo tape.
Tattoo tape, tape, tape. These are like stills. Is it just choppy for me? Yeah, it's just choppy on our screen.
I don't know why it is.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going out choppy.
If anybody's watching, is it going out choppy?
I'm gonna pause this for just a second. Do you want to unplug and replug that guy in? Maybe if we reestablish the connection, it'll be cooperative. Here we go.
There we go. There we go.
Maybe.
Reestablishing connection.
It's spinning for me.
So this one time I was walking this path all by myself and it was like super early in the morning. So I was trying to get back to my car because, you know, I was just behind. And like, I don't know, it was just before dusk and I tripped on a turkey. And I don't know if it was asleep or if like it just was turned the wrong way, but it like came around the corner and bloop, bloop,
You tripped on a turkey?
like a turkey, like an actual
Like a
An live
live
turkey. Hold on a second. What
Wait,
do
the
you
video
mean?
is going now. Is it still choppy though?
Yeah, it's still.
Mhm.
You know what? I feel like I need to troubleshoot because this is actually
This is
really
not
good
how we
video.
do it.
The video is really good.
Yeah, it was the strangest moment in the woods ever.
Hmm.
Tripping on a turkey. It kind of like threw my whole day off. It's like, who am I just to fuck this turkey's day up? Just minding my own business, walking around. He was probably taking a nap. I like booted this poor thing in the fucking head and jolted him out of his sleep. Like it just ruined that dude's day, like completely.
Well, I mean, why is he sleeping on the path?
He doesn't know it's a path. It's his woods.
Why
He
you
lives
get
there.
it's a cleared out section. I mean,
Yeah, I'd sleep there too. Made perfect sense.
wouldn't you want cover when you sleep?
It's a turkey. He's got feathers. He's just doing what
Sh-
turkeys
yeah,
do.
all right. Yeah, yeah. You know what?
How about
I'll
now?
give you
Let's
that.
see if it's still
It just
choppy.
kind of really ruined my like leave no trace perspective of my whole situation.
It's better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's better. It's still a little choppy, but better.
So this guy was tattooing. He was cool. This guy had a bunch of tattoos. He was cool.
Some Ty McEwen stuff. See
Yeah.
Brian nerding out. Brian's got some Ty McEwen work as well.
Brian's my favorite kind of collector. He's got more tattoos than the majority of people
And you'd never even know
that you
it.
don't see.
And like amazing, award winning,
Yeah.
super
World's
good work.
largest beetle tattoo.
See, I had to fix the video so you could see these little fur balls. Nova and Gomez. They travel a lot, but they're at shows and stuff with us a lot. They're Cervena's babies.
Yeah, never mind.
Look at them.
Aww.
I
They are.
forgot about this.
They're a good time. They're a good time.
It's the last thing they need is more like cuteness and attention.
Yeah, I mean, being fluffy is kind of hard. Just saying. But there's people talking about tattoos. We're back down to chop suey, man. What's going
Yeah.
on?
I don't know why it's chop suey. My actual video is kind of nice.
So this was the room that the convention, the competitions was the word I was trying to say, were held in. It was a nice sized room. They had a good size setup, but yeah, just kind of off kicking it by its onesie.
It was cool that they had that hallway off to the side though, like I was talking about.
Yeah, it made it very WWE. And now coming in for world's largest black and gray, we've got Chandra. Sandra, show us your tattoo. Does her above her knee say fuck off?
I don't remember.
I'm fairly certain it did. And young lady, not to be disrespectful or call you whatever you want to be called. Can like you I want to be your friend.
Hmm.
Is Maybell judging?
Mhm.
I missed the mark on getting a fuck off tattoo. I feel left out now.
Where would you put it?
I don't know.
Cross
No.
your knuckles.
No, Kyle.
I'm super bummed that this footage is so choppy. I've been trying so hard to get like nice, watchable, smooth footage that doesn't
Well,
make you motion sick when you're
Do we
looking
need
at it.
to transform it to a different format and do this next week?
I mean,
Download it, store it, save it, put it on whatever.
On a computer.
I just don't
I just feel like we're
understand
not
why
doing
it's
justice to
pushing
all
Josh.
these sweet, sweet, sweet tattoos.
I know.
There's El Capitan and May Bell. We talk about them frequently on the show. The captain's kind of my hero. He is living the circus sideshow lifestyle, and I want to be his child.
It's not too late.
That's
If he would adopt me, I would, gladly carry their suitcases. Just saying.
look at how nice this work is that was being done there. Now that we're on to this, it's still choppy, but at least you can see what we're talking about.
I love the new palette structures that is available now. It's just that neon and that sepia tone. And just like,
People are just starting to understand the power of color, understanding
it's kind of
when to exaggerate, when to mute. I was agreeing, by the way.
I know.
Absolutely agreeing.
Always check your candy. It looks like the doll off the Corn album.
So
That's
good.
crazy good. I like the clash of the styles.
That's awesome.
All right. Oh,
See, wasn't there a lot of good work being done?
I'm sorry.
This one's actually very beautiful. It just needs wiped down.
Yeah, it looks very mellow.
But like
Oh.
no sleepers in the bunch.
Frog.
Everybody was
Little
doing
frog.
such good work.
Fawn, can you do a frog tattoo for me?
Where you want a frog tattoo?
I just like them. I think they're cool.
Brian.
Brian enjoying
he's
the
like the chillest
stuff.
bro of all times.
Nice transition to Brian. I like that.
Choppy, Brian. It's nice to see Carl. I hadn't seen Carl on a couple shows.
One was so nice. This is the last one was tattoo of the day color. This one was tattoo of the day black and gray.
Woo!
Look at that one.
Wow.
So good. A lot of these, this was the first day. A lot of these ended up being 2 or 3 day pieces. So many of these grew. If this was just the first day that they were entered.
I noticed they were letting like fucking non-fully healed tattoos in to everything.
That doesn't necessarily mean the judges are going to award that. Like there were in this show in particular, there were definitely pieces that were in the wrong category, and we'd be like, this isn't really the right category for this. And they were like, we just wanted to enter it all just to see if. So when judging, the judges know what's healed, what isn't, what's
Right,
appropriate
Right.
to enter and what isn't, and judge accordingly. It's
Just saying.
I mean, nowadays anybody that's asked to judge is going to do a classy job, and if it doesn't meet the criteria because it's either not fully healed or wasn't done at the show, or
Right.
whichever the criteria are, it's a big deal isn't going to be made. They're not going to say they're eliminated or disqualified. They're just not going to win.
I'm
you know what
getting
I
out
mean?
my red Sharpie and fucking drawing over their tattoo. This is trash.
Is
You
that
are
what we
in
should
the
do?
wrong
You know
category.
how
We send them
like
home with
art teachers would
corrections.
grab the red
Yeah.
erasable pencil and
Yeah.
start like draw the arrow with the
Yeah.
notes on it.
Yep.
That'd be the worst.
I could see Derb doing that.
That happened to me one time when I did a painting. The one time I tried to work at a tattoo studio, and the guy that was supposedly teaching me all these things came by and ran a Sharpie across my painting with a big X through it and was like, that's trash, and literally threw my shit away. Yeah.
I would have been so mad.
I wanted to stab him in his kidney.
Would have been salty.
I was.
Do you think it's our connection that's slow? Because I feel like our little thumbnail's kind of lagging too. Is there anything we could do about that on the fly? No.
No,
Sorry,
unfortunate.
guys. We're just trying to troubleshoot for you so you get better picture quality.
Hey, that's that one guy. He does tattoos. He's good at them too.
I'm trying to think so hard to remember his name, but it was so many weeks ago, and I have seen so many people. If we go back to me walking around, I can point out where he was working. He was like kitty corner across from us. I've been trying to picture his banner since we started.
And find his
footage.
banner.
The other guy doing some super crazy black and gray work that was super similar and awesome was Nico.
Yeah.
He ended up being in the booth right next to us in Detroit. So it's kind of cool to see him win at multiple conventions that close together. Good for him, by the way.
Yeah, he kills it.
I need to get better at remembering names of artists, but I smoke so much weed that I get so into like what they're doing. And then I try to catch like their banner.
This was the first convention I'd ever seen a weed stand at.
I mean, it was CBD weed. It wasn't real.
Oh. They had like moon rocks and shit.
Yeah, CBD moon rocks. They're making faces at us. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. This
what?
connection's so laggy.
I'm so glad I didn't buy it.
You'd have been so
I'm
mad.
pissed.
You're like, oh, it's legal like that, huh?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, that was CBD stuff.
I was like, well.
I do love just walking through and seeing who else where. I love like just getting a feel for the style of work that's being done at different shows. Some shows are incredibly traditional heavy. Some shows are incredibly like, I think there was a lot of really nice neo-traditional and like surreal work being done at the Pittsburgh show. In Detroit, I feel like there was a lot of really nice black and gray being done. There's a lot of black and gray artists just like crushing it lately.
That's embarrassing. I'm wearing the same shirt.
I think it's fair. This was like a month ago.
I think I
it's
am
a different
too.
hat.
Kyle said, I think I am. So they had the tattoo zoo teddy bears there. Lily loves hers.
Awesome. Corey loves selling teddy bears.
Yeah.
The guy that works the booth.
Yeah.
He loves it. He worked for another tattoo brand, like an apparel brand, but he loves doing the teddy bears. And I was like, you know what? I didn't even think about it. Like, you don't have to like dig through and find the right size and wait for 3 girls to try on 16 different shirts before they decide they're going to get sweatpants.
Right. Just hand up a teddy bear.
He's like, the hardest thing is for people to decide which one they want.
Right. I changed my mind. I had one in hand and got a different one. They were so good. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, look it up on one of the social medias, and I'm sure it'll pop up. They are teddy bears.
Here we
with
go. Our feet's
tattoos.
catching up a little bit now. Still kind of choppy, but not as bad as it was a few minutes ago.
Chop suey.
We'll take it.
I did not realize that the Steelers were merch department was just as bad as the OSU merch department. And it's just like everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
It's bad.
We were in Steelers country.
Steelers country. That dude was cool. I really liked the stuff he did. He was a nice human. Not Jesse. The guy next to him. Jesse's cool too. But you know me.
Not him. And it's always so funny. I love looking at shows and you see everybody kick back with their glasses on. It's like, oh, look at this cool guy. Look at this cool guy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh no, it's because there's blinding lights everywhere. And they probably have a migraine and they're in pain. The sunglasses are crucial. Otherwise,
Oh,
when I
yeah.
get tattooed at a show, I usually just like have my arm
Yeah, I
over
got
my eyes
glasses
altogether.
on if we're getting tattooed at the show. You don't see every little baby wince in my face that way too. Makes me feel tougher. They had a solid traditional crowd there.
Mhm.
Solid traditional crowd there.
And like when you say solid, not like a ton, but like very technical.
Yeah, like no, it was
solid
saturated. I mean,
foundation.
like the ones that were there were really good.
Yes.
This wonderful human being here sat through it. We checked in on her a couple of times over the next few hours, and that chess piece just got better and better.
I do love just watching the evolution of these pieces. It's one of the nice things, like being able to attend shows like this and work the booth when they need help and just be an extra hand. It gives me the chance to A, walk around and get footage, but B, it gives me a chance to actually like take in a show and take in the new stuff
Right.
that's being done and seeing like these new things that other artists are trying.
Instead of always having to work.
Yeah, if I was just like tattooing away all weekend, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really cool. And yes, work conventions, tattoo at them, like get to know clients. It's great, but I am really enjoying
Attending.
just attending to be like helpful where I can, grab footage for the show where I can. But I don't know. I've always enjoyed tattoo conventions.
Mr. Davis there, he's been kicking out some solid
Mhm.
stuff lately.
He does a lot of the big collabs that we were talking about.
Yeah, his
It
color
seems like
is
most
insane.
shows he's got a collab lined up with another artist, and they either spend the whole day on it or they spend the whole weekend on it.
He does a lot of that real good, like colored fade.
Yeah, he
real
does.
tight packed color.
Yeah, there will be like elements that are somewhat realistic, and then he'll have very flat, almost like Art Nouveau kind of elements.
What kind of machine is that?
That is what we call Tabori. That is not a machine. That is
Oh,
a human
That's
being.
his arm.
That's a human being.
I was just being facetious.
It's a human
I just wanted to point it out.
human machine.
Yeah, I wanted to see more of that. I felt bad for the gentleman being tattooed.
Well, I come back in for a little while. One of the things that amazes me about this is even though it's hand poked, you would imagine that it would take so much longer, but it's really incredibly efficient. It's like the speed at which the needle travels and goes in and out of the skin just deposits so much more ink. And, when they're that confident and that efficient with each motion, it gets done quick.
Huh.
Like, it just seems like the skin would be so beat up and so angry, but it never is. Like you saw how close I zoomed in on that.
Yeah.
It was like
Silky.
smooth velvet.
Well, you learn the muscle memory of consistency. So like the
Look at that intern.
being all interny.
Oh, Ben being all starstruck with Maybell.
Starstruck. Is that what we're talking Who was trying to hit on the door girl? Oh, that was very WWE. And in comes Derb.
And out goes Derb. See, amazing work being done.
Yeah. Killer.
Sacred geometry and space.
Look at that stage.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
I think I've got the camera.
Can I blame the intern?
I think I have the camera.
It's all the intern's fault.
Nope. That's my feet.
Nope, that's fine. Check out them knees. They be the bees.
Look at those shoes.
I'm gonna take this fast forward time as an
There we
excuse to
go.
use the restroom.
Look at it.
That's really cool.
I should have, you know what I need to do is I need to have like something on me that's like, you can tell me the artist.
We'll just make shirts that say that.
We need to just make shirts anyways.
That's fair.
This guy, if I remember right, I believe he was a pastor and both of his arms told two totally different stories.
Nice.
There we go. It's so hard to get good videos when people are walking by because they don't know how close I'm zoomed. And sometimes they're like making faces at me or doing hand gestures. It's like, bro, I'm zoomed in on like 3 inches of fingers.
Right.
Like,
I learned the importance of lighting in Detroit there when I was trying to get footage there, and it was just like each light in front of each judge was so different, and it's very hard to capture,
yep.
especially when you don't want to like stop the flow of it. You're just in the background there.
Too much light and not enough light all at the same time.
And they're standing on a chair.
That piece was really nice. Kyle, why are you so quiet?
It's an off day for me.
See, this was like a little side room, but it filled right up. I wonder, I don't know. Maybe there was enough signage that enough people could find it. Because when I'm looking back at this video, that room is as full as it could be. People are standing in the back.
Yeah, I mean, like the turnout for everything was really good. It was full. It was just on the other side was all.
It seemed like all the artists were busy, working on really nice pieces. This is what makes judging so hard. Look at how like incredibly different these pieces are, but how good they all are.
Right. Well, yeah, the thing I've been hearing a lot of times too is it's like it's nitpicking the smallest little things, because every piece of work is so good that it does come down to those tiny nitpicks.
When we were in Detroit, were you close enough to hear some of the comments as the judges were talking?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to hear like what one judge thinks is important versus what another judge thinks is important. But the bottom line is, you know, everybody knows what a good tattoo is, and everybody knows, like, you know, within reason, it's rare that there's a huge discrepancy with the judges. Like, it's rare that one judge will be like, no, this is the best one, and the other ones are just looking at them like they're nuts. It's very rare that happens. Most of the time, people that judge and enjoy judging are very, you know, reasonable and fair.
Just want to see good tattoos.
The other thing is like when you judge competitions like this, sometimes afterwards people will come up and ask you why the decision was made, and you got to be able to put that into words for them and turn it into a learning experience. So you can say, like, you know, this one won because of this, or this one I chose the other because, you know, of this factor, not even necessarily that it's a flaw, but this might have had this advantage, and that was my deciding factor. That was just, you know, what I used to make the decision. Look at how good these are. Color everywhere. Ben,
This piece was awesome.
you smell like chicken.
I took a couple bites on the way back. Dinner's still on the table on the way through. I love sometimes where these large pieces decide to stop. You know what I mean? Like the last young lady had like the one face of her leg done, ankle to thigh. Why wasn't the decision to go around the thigh instead of down the leg?
I bet she will.
Oh, I'm sure. Just like
But I hear what you're saying.
Hmm.
Why make the decision to end
Do
where
a
a
panel
piece ends?
instead of like a wraparound or vice versa. Was that a easier for the artist type of thing, or?
I don't know. Sometimes I ask my clients, do you want to commit the whole sleeve or do you want to commit sections?
Look at fun.
Just standing there, minding
Being-
my own
Being
business.
fun.
This guy had some incredibly
He did.
detailed work. This video doesn't do it justice. Oh man, I remember this piece now. It was
Ribs,
so nice.
ribs. Don't think you need to be in your underwear, homie, but ribs. Those are really good. Like you could have done shorts though, bro. I get the no shirt, but like
Oh man, he got his riblets blasted in Detroit.
I
He
wanted to
was
boot this belly
feeling
button so bad.
sore.
I did. He had a very boopable belly button.
A boopable belly button, Ben. Boop.
Look at that dome, Teddy.
There's Tony.
Hey, we know that guy. He's standing in his signature pose for his figurine. I wonder if he's going to pull any background in and through the Houdini.
You know, I wonder.
Because like he's
It's
got
like the
such
only thing on him
solid,
that is nice and open.
yeah, he's got such solid background to background fill. Uh-oh. Keep your buttocks away. No, I'm just kidding. Does he have his neck done, or is it all under beard?
He's got his neck done.
Nice. And his work is insanely good. Oh, that's different. That's-
Jump.
We went from
This is
high color,
uh,
black and gray,
obviously this is all around male.
ground, grandpa Santa Claus style to that. Jesus, he had a paragraph on his back.
Look at Tony.
Hi, hi. Could you imagine being his artist and him being like, hey, I want Psalms 23 on my ribs.
Like you just want like Psalms 23 or
No,
you
no,
want
no,
like
homie, you're
the
not feeling
entire 23rd
Like the
Psalm.
entire 23rd Psalm.
So you're telling me you literally want,
Yes.
yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
Yep, all of that.
If you can recite it to me, I'll think about it.
Nope. I probably could. Yea, through I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory for men forever. Amen. Or kingdom of power and glory forever. Amen.
I don't know.
No, that's probably right. I had to go into savant like beat into my head mode. Hold on. That's a deep one. Let me pull it out. But like as a tattooer, Fawn, what's the couth way to be like, nah, brah, I don't want to write a paragraph on your ribs.
I don't know. I definitely did my share of paragraphs, and I definitely did my share of paragraphs that were in another language that neither I nor the person that wearing the tattoo spoke.
Oops.
I mean,
You Googled that right?
hopefully they Googled it right.
Well, I'm
Googled.
Leah's favorite. She's got Chinese characters on her back and her splat mat that she says represent like a hot soup or something like that.
That's
And I'm
hilarious.
like, all right.
That's
She's gonna be mad because I called it the wrong thing, but it's something soup. And I think it's hilarious that she just doesn't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
Look at him tatties.
Speaking of Django.
That's great. Aww. Man, the shading in that is different.
It's a lot of opaque grays. It's one of the things it's really,
Who is
it's
that?
kind of a art. It was Jim Carrey. It was
Oh.
an artist. It's like artist preference. A lot of black and gray artists really like the opaque grays, but I feel like you're kind of tattooing full color at that point.
Right.
But opinions. I feel like with black and gray, the
That's
skin
crazy.
should breathe through a little bit, but so
Yeah, because
nice.
that's full saturation at that point. You're
Yeah. It's like wall to wall shading.
Mhm.
Like with this piece in particular, there's a lot of skin breaks. There's a lot of that gray with
Natural
the skin tone. It's how
negative
we've got
highlight.
all the middle tones.
Yeah, and I dig
But
that.
it's easy for people to go just too dark altogether. And another thing, there could be some cover ups in there that we don't notice and aren't
Right.
considering. It's the thing with tattoos. There's always variables. Sometimes there's a variable that's out of our control that will make those decisions. But
That's
generally,
crazy.
with black and gray, there should be a lot of skin tone.
That's cool. Wait, is that yeah. Boop, 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 boop.
Kyle,
Yes.
how do you take your coffee?
With a splash of creamer. I have an oat milk.
Sweetened? You want the oat milk?
I've been
Yeah.
corrected. In theory, her tattoo means love and strength. But on an episode of Big Bang, Sheldon tells Penny that her tattoo means soup. So she adopted that.
Fair.
Which makes me laugh. Because really, who the fuck is?
Could be soup. Could be live, laugh,
Rob.
love.
Could be live, laugh, love.
All right. Gonna go grab coffee. You want coffee?
Sure.
Can you and the intern entertain
You
us?
want me to talk
For
to
7
this
minutes.
7 minutes? What do you mean 7 minutes?
chick? So almost minutes.
That's all the time that Ben gives me.
Oh yeah.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
Kyle only gets 7 minutes of politeness. Outside of that window, it's fuck off. Or is it the other way around? Did I say it was the other way around?
I think it was the other way around.
I'm only mean for 7 minutes and then I'm nice to you.
Your fake meanness only lasts for 7 minutes.
That's fair. I want the captain's outfit.
I could see you rocking it.
I'm just throwing it out there.
You got the hat to match it too.
Him and I often we did it when we were in Akron too. He was like, I want that hat. I was like, I want your outfit.
I'll make a trade.
No, it was after Akron because I bought stuff and it was the show after that, whichever we went to after that. It was very funny. Oh, it was the hat I'm wearing he wanted. I was like, it was the yellow hat that I have. It's literally on my head. Who are the judges? Wasn't one of those chicks from like France or something?
Yes, I don't remember her name, but I do know she was an international judge.
Good job, Kyle. Way to rep.
Thanks. Well, Fawn will know.
Good job, Fawn. Where do you get coffee? Oh, I remember these. I think I was filming at this point.
We tossed the camera around throughout the day.
Toss you around.
Okay.
He said, okay.
Sure.
Don't tempt me with a good time, big boy. This guy had a ton of work.
Mm-hmm.
That gorilla on his chest was gnarly too.
Yeah.
Today's tattoo collection sponsored by Red Bull. Dope. Dope. What? Like my homie still got stencil on his hand. Like that's still like freshity McFresh
Right.
fresh.
That's like chest wrapped up.
Yeah. That's there's a lot of bio in that. Type of-
Appreciate it.
Dude. There's just like so much commitment involved in that.
Mm-hmm. Look at that one.
How could so?
I found another cookie.
Yeah, I see that. Look at that Pharaoh.
I love this sleeve. That Egyptian one. He was too fast.
He said, nope.
Part of the struggle of getting the good footage, you know?
Woo. What are you talking about? My food is just sweet. Seamless.
Exactly. See?
It balances out.
It's not my fault you guys did zero editing.
Well,
Look at Frank.
we'll do
look
better
at
next
it.
time.
Look at him. Just being all Frank like. Whoa. Sorry, guys.
Look at that.
So smooth.
Crisp.
I told you guys there was good work being done, right?
Fawn, do you remember the name of the other judge that was there? The international one?
No, let me look her up. I remember it started with the L. I think it was Lena Diamanti.
I thought that back piece was really cool, the carnival one.
Eat. Concur, sir.
And then Candy Dunbar is the other one.
Mm-hmm. Ouch.
Lena's work, I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at it. Maybe while we're segueing into the Detroit show, we could pull her work up because it's very beautiful, photorealistic.
See all the
Very nice.
detail in that angel on that poor man's shin.
What was her page?
Lena _ Diamanti, Diamanti.
I see. Ooh.
Nice. I love this pink and black juxtaposed together.
Mm-hmm. Really great contrast on that.
Ben's got an echo on us. It's okay.
I'll turn it off in 2 seconds.
It's
Sorry.
okay. I'll just stop talking.
Nope. I'll turn the sound off.
I haven't competed in many competitions lately, but I love competing with other people because we're so like proud of our work, but awkward to be like
Right.
naked and exposed or
Right.
partially naked and exposed because like we're not usually like that. I don't know. But at the same time, we all get nervous. We're all equally as uncomfortable.
Right. My thing is, it's like in this, nudity is art, right? But like in this format, like most of these people aren't used to having the, I don't want to say attention. Like they'll show their arm at work or they'll get their leg out for their buddy at the bar, but the amount of times I've shown someone my entire collection of tattoos is pretty slim, you know, like and that just in public exposure is different for a lot of people.
Outside of Lauren getting your collection when we were at Hell City, have you had like your whole tattoo tour? Like where you
That
go
was a
through
pretty
like
no,
that was probably the only time really, huh?
yeah. And we just did like broad strokes.
Hmm.
I still haven't watched that.
We should actually like me, you, Kyle, maybe we could get Jordan to join us, but actually like go through thoughtfully our collections, like piece by piece. I mean, we've talked about our collections a ton, but I think that would be kind of cool.
Okay.
Hmm.
When I was getting this tattoo, I don't have like this weird like cocaine gap though that I don't remember though. So there's probably going to be like a whole section of like, I got this one.
That's part of the story.
It means that I
that's-
was at the studio and
that's-
sober.
That's probably during that period of time where Wes was like, bro, you've got 3 tattoos already healing. You already gave me money for 2 more. Slow down. I tell my clients when they're going super gung ho, like, hey, it's not a race. Like, yes, I'll tattoo your other limbs, but like, we can wait.
Well, that's that fear of, I found my person. I don't want them to leave. Because early in collecting, you hear a lot of horror stories of my 3/4 of the way sleeve. My buddy started my back piece and moved out of state. All those kind of situations.
Mhm.
So there's this fear of, look at my chub. There's this
It's
fear
okay.
of
We'll get in shape, Ben. We'll get good.
you're gonna leave me. So let's get as much done as we can while you're here, type of sitch. Since you didn't bring me coffee, I'm gonna get some.
I couldn't remember if you needed some and I ran out of hands.
No, you're fine. I'm just being a dick.
It's not very strong at all, but it's the very last of the coffee.
Very last. Oh man, we better order some.
Oh no.
Oh man, what are we gonna do?
Oh, Chris is giving stuff away, I think. Oh, Cervena's coming out. I remember. We need to figure out a better way to turn the sound on and off of the camera. That's something we need to work on. I'm realizing this live right now.
Okay.
Just saying it aloud. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't figure out a good way to share the sound on the fly.
Okay. I did figure out why we were glitching a lot and buffering the feed. The picture-in-picture on here really destroys that
Bogs it down.
a lot.
Well, now we know.
Yeah.
How long? Well, I saw you restart that when we were getting going, so
Mhm.
that's not it.
It was probably like
Come on,
10-20 in.
come on, Captain. This is the longest intro ever.
It's almost like you've seen the set.
There she is.
What is it? It's the finest shimmy shaker to ever shake or shimmy. That is, it's the finest shimmy shaker to ever shimmy better than any shimmy shakers ever shimmy before.
I
I
don't
believe is the actual intro.
shimmy, shimmity, shim, shim.
He says shimmy a lot.
Shimmy shaker, shaker, shimmy.
The
Shimmy,
finest
shaky,
shimmy shaker to ever
shaky,
shake or shimmy
shaky,
better
shimmy,
than any
shaky.
shimmy shaker before. I believe is the actual intro.
Okay. It's a mouthful.
I've only seen him intro.
Okay, Ben, can I ask you a question?
What?
What exactly is a shimmy?
Well, a shimmy.
I
It's
know what
like
a shim is.
A shimmy is like a sham, which is generally like tied around a Middle Eastern person's waist.
So you're
that during
saying
a
a
belly
shimmy
dance.
is like a sham.
Yep. And if you're shaking the shimmy that's tied around your waist, you're generally moving your hips. and or buttocks.
You know, it's a good thing you're wearing the same shirt.
No one would have.
I'm glad I got this.
This is what happens when you have seen all the booths and are waiting to close up shop at the end of the show.
Derb did this to him.
I had zero choices. Like I was sitting there and he just started wrapping my head.
It's like, so you're gonna get the ski mask, right? And then it just happened.
And there we are. Ski mask.
Four rolls of grip tape later.
This is the highlight.
Yeah, that was super late. We were kind of winding down for the night. We had already eaten. Everybody was kind of full belly kicking it. And Derb was like, I'm gonna wrap your face. And I didn't say like profusely no. So
You didn't say anything. You
I was
just
like,
sat there and it happened.
and then he did it.
Implied consent.
Is that what that is?
I mean, if you didn't say no, you're saying yes.
That's rapey. Jesus fucking
Oh, look,
Christ,
there's a
Kyle.
tattoo bear.
Let's-
Remind me never
On
to
that
sleep with
note.
you. Jesus. I mean, not no, bro. Whoa.
Well, in that well, in that specific context. it's
Sure, bud.
okay.
Sure, bud. Oh, that guy's having a day. I couldn't imagine sitting on the floor fucking hunched over like that.
Honestly, sometimes that's the most comfortable way to tattoo.
Dipping with your head above your like that's
I mean,
quality.
I wouldn't put my inks above my head.
No,
but
he's
Well, that's how you get your stretching.
I have
that's how you
definitely
get human goo on your face.
have definitely sat on a little tiny stool and then tattooed comfortably.
He was dipping and then
Dipping and ripping.
ripping above his face.
Dipping, ripping, tearing.
That means he's dripping
Ripping and a tearing.
humigoo on his face
Humi goo.
because he's going.
What? His
Let
face
me-
was
let me
in the
open it.
line of fire.
His
There was
his
there were
ink
no
was above
wings.
his head.
I thought this marker drawing was really nice.
I like her glasses.
Way to be a freehand artist. I pan out and get her name and information in a second.
Oh, look at the frog. For reference.
Yeah, like, see, yes, using the iPad, able to freehand, absolutely. That's the perfect example of like how the iPad is a cool time-saving tool. How using
What'd you
these
call
like
me?
stamps and patterns save time on the design, but like being able to execute it freehand, having that confidence is still so important.
Right.
Back to this.
She's just chilling too. He is so crispy with it. All right, let's see who's gonna tattoo my face.
What's up with you and face tattoos today? This has come up
I've-
a few times.
I've
You
been-
asked Derb to tattoo your face,
I've been saying that for like 10 years.
but you brought it up a few times in one day.
It kind of sticks when it's a theme, you know.
All right.
It's just a joke.
Until it becomes reality.
I am not financially secure enough to tattoo my face.
Fair point.
Me neither, Ben. Me neither. Kyle,
My SoundCloud rapper name isn't that strong. No, I mean literally, it's isn't that strong. Go look it up. I'd fucking slay.
nice.
You were
I
doing
bet.
some good beatboxing in the before here.
You don't even know, Kyle. You.
I mean, I
even
was listening. So
No.
Okay.
That was unprepared, off the cuff, random, just beginner beat. One day I'll drop the mic like it's hot for you.
Beginner beat.
Yeah, like as he started off, you know, the beginning beat before you start like adding stuff in.
the bass.
No,
Look at
Kyle.
this guy's suit. I was
He's
trying to
getting
create-
there.
Look at those furrowed brows. Concentration.
He's a-
Electric unicorn.
He's in a traditional like Japanese rolled undergarment. Let me tell you, this thing's get uncomfortable.
The rolled undergarment.
Yeah, bro.
Seems like it'd be like a permanent wedgie.
Continual stretch. Things that normally touch are held apart all day. It's weird. Weird.
Weird with a capital H. Getting tattooed, just having a chit chat. the way it should be.
Sorry, people in listener land, for having to listen to me wheeze and be fat.
That actually was a very graceful block of the mic. Didn't rattle my ears at all.
I try.
Just
Trick
thoughtful.
is to cut.
Look how unhappy she is.
My life sucks.
It's-
I see her outside of her bicep. She doesn't get much sympathy from me.
She's getting over to that like meaty little edge of the armpit area.
Fine. She just wiped the top of her shoulder. Like, I love you, and I hear what you're trying to do for this poor sweet lady, but like, she'll be okay. It's just an arm. There's lots worse places. Tattoos get on.
Nico was next to us in Detroit.
I'm
This
sorry.
horse- this
People
horse
with the
that he's
name
working on.
Nico need to like have a last initial or something. There's too many of them.
Nico
Now.
Perez.
Yeah, there's too many of them now, though. There's like 4 prominent Nico
Well,
tattooers.
his business card is NP. Like
Okay.
he's got a logo that's NP. So he goes by Nico
He's-
Perez.
He's probably who I got the idea that everybody needs to do that from.
Maybe.
No, he's solid. He does really, really good shit. This must be Sunday.
Yes.
I can tell from the high attendance.
Sunday. Tony Urbanic.
Tony Urbanic. I like that guy. He's really, really genuine. He does Rubber City.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to Rubber City this year. BTW. It's on the list. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
We're
I would love to do
doing
that
it.
one again.
Rubber City was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Twas a good show. And we got to go hiking.
We did. We
That
went
was fun.
waterfall chasing after. Kyle showed us his Hobbit ways.
Oh,
That was the initial Hobbit release.
yeah. You
the initial Hobbit release.
Yeah. Let the goblin out the cage. You know?
So in Ohio, we've got this small national park called Cuyahoga Valley National
Cuyahoga
Park, and
Valley.
it sprawls from like Cleveland all the way down past Akron. It's just
It's just
sprawling
this
and
teeny
huge.
tiny little park.
So to me, anytime anybody mentions anything from that region of Ohio, I just instantly think of waterfalls, and that's just something we have to do while we're there. Because you don't go there and not do that.
Can I get on
Sweater.
the rotation?
No, you get nothing. It's don't go chasing waterfalls. I was trying to think of the waterfalls.
Do go chasing
Do.
waterfalls. Recharge those positive ions. Chase them waterfalls. Chase
for
that
this-
moving water. Look,
Except in TLC
everything
stays
coming
there.
down so fast. It's crazy how many months of preparation it takes.
To watch
How
it all
many
come down in
days of
4
setup
hours.
it takes. And then, yeah. Oh, this is a little intro. Our visit with Dana. That was a pretty cool visit.
Yeah.
No cry.
No
baby.
cry babies. You want to bounce the camera back to us?
Oh
Like,
my
pull up the
God.
Detroit footage.
Speaking of, I remember when I was managing body language, we had these 2 wonderful young ladies come in to get tattoos as a buddy system, right?
Mhm.
Her friend had already sat and gone through the process and was no problems. This young lady, who was also getting like an outside of her bicep tattoo that couldn't have been larger than my fist, made it seem as if she was being bludgeoned by a baseball bat every 30 seconds.
Bludgeoned.
She was back
So
there.
you mean she was a
And
little
I
on
mean,
the dramatic side?
I'm gonna lean back because I can't do it quiet. She was literally like, "Oh my God." At that volume.
Oh man.
This is a packed, full 7-8 room studio. Piercer running, packed fucking house. And this young lady, God bless her soul, was going through it. And I went back once and I was like, hey, is there anything I can do? Do you need a glass of water? Do you need to take a break? Do you want to take a deep fucking breath? Do you want to shove my shoe down your throat? None of those things. Okay. So
Please let
here's
it be the shoe.
so here's the gig. We love you. But shh. It's not that bad, baby. It's not that bad, I promise.
So
And I mean that in the most non-misogynistic way of all times. But like the second time I went back, I looked Davey in his face, who was like on the brink of
boiling over.
it. Senior Rips is the most patient, sweetest human being of all times. And if he is struggling mentally with somebody, it's because they have pushed the fucking envelope. You know what I mean?
Mm.
He is chill, right?
We've gone too far. If he's
And I was like,
his feathers are ruffled.
right. I was like, man, if you continue, I'm gonna stop the tattoo. And Davey looked at me like, fuck yes. Like, please. You know what I mean? And she was like, no, we're good. I'm sorry, we're good. We're good. I'm like, okay. I understand it hurts. We've all got a bunch. Hear me out. It doesn't hurt that bad. It's in your head. Deep breaths. You can get through this. Like, you're fine. Type
So
of
you're
sitch.
telling me you had like a tattoo Lamaze.
It may have been the wrong wording, but I was trying, you know. And she shut the fuck up for the rest of her tattoo. But like, it was one of those, like, I had never been so close to just being like, hey, you're not tough enough for this. This is not your gig. Stick to like ping pong or something. Because
Ping pong.
like, tattoos ain't for you.
Have you ever done 2 days in a row
Yes. Yes.
on your back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I did 2 days big. When we did my outline on my back, it was 2 big days.
Was that at the convention?
No, that was luckily in-house, and it was still brutal. Don't get me wrong, but Rich was very smart and did lower half one day, top half the next day.
If you're doing it in quadrants like that,
Yeah,
it's
it
not so
wasn't-
bad.
Wasn't going back into reopening to stuff the next day. Now we did that in New York where we had to reopen stuff the next day. But it was cool.
My first
This was
day,
that was not the case. This was trinket tattoo on the outside of the arm.
my first day, we did like just faint little gray lines all over my whole entire back. That sucked.
Mhm.
And then the next day we did the black and then the dark reds. We just like went like systematically through the colors. And then once we got through those darkest of darks, then we went in like quadrants. It'd be like
I
we're
remember
either working left and right or top and bottom.
one day of doing my back, all that he did was 2 black patches. They were just this big, you know, on both sides. And it was just 2 giant black. My back is predominantly black and gray.
Yeah.
There's colors in it, but like sepia tone, like
Mhm.
it's not very, very saturated, right? So like the depth that he had to acquire to get the image to pop, he had to put some black in there, and he fucking put it in. Let me tell you, it still looks amazing. But like, it was so unsatisfying. You know what I mean? Like, because it was a big meaty chunk of fucking to leave with just like 2 black chunks.
Mm,
All right. I mean, trust the process. It's dope. I'm
Yeah.
not upset, but
with mine, because it's so geometric, they like from start to finish, it was so systematic.
roll that beautiful beam footage.
Oh, okay. Ready, Cal?
Damn.
We can talk over this.
All right, here's Detroit. Have you ever been to the GM Renaissance building?
I have.
Did you get lost?
Yes.
How many times?
Twice.
Kyle, how many times did you get lost your first time?
That was my first time, and I immediately got lost.
I was there. I was there for a food show, and it was even more convoluted than this.
I had asked
Wow.
someone in the smoke pit, like, "Hey, you guys have tattoos? Are you here with the convention? How do I get there?"
Oh, there's Todd.
Yeah. Todd.
It's really a cool building. Once you understand the flow of the GM building, Here's what I love about this building. It is confusing until you understand like the even odd system of the floors. But once you understand the flow of traffic, that building can be packed full of thousands of people and it
Right.
never feels busy. Like some days it is hustle and bustling, but you never feel crowded.
Right.
Like sometimes you'll have to wait for an elevator. With
That's
that
not bad, though.
exception, it's like it's designed, it seems very confusing, but once you're familiar with it, the flow is so like open.
Right.
I think that's the cool thing about the building.
So you were saying when you started your back, he was systematically going through colors. What was the gist of that? So we can carry that over this.
Well, I mean, we went through, Russ picked out like the specific colors he was using and like the formulas of what colors mix with what colors to
Right.
achieve like the gradients. But it was like, okay, we're gonna do this. So it'd be like I said, at my first trip down, we did the gray lines one day, then we did the black and the dark red the next day. And then my next trip, I believe we did like maybe one of the darker pink colors and the first of the blue.
See, he's just got so much foresight that
Mhm.
he's fully mapped out and ready to go before.
Mhm.
And I really
Yeah,
admire
it
that
was,
longevity
everything
plan.
was mapped out on this mock-up, which was like a perfect rendering of what my back turned into. So it was literally like, okay, this angle is going to be this color all the way across. This angle is going to be this color. This shadow casts at this degree all the way through. So it was very, mechanical.
I love it. I love it. I'm finding and relearning to trace and relearning to draw a little bit that there's so much of it that's just muscle memory and taking the time to make sure it's mapped out right. So if I can learn the process and do the same motion through the same thing, I have a lot better chance of learning. Like I have to draw roses one way. If I don't do it that exact way, there's no way if I could draw it. Like, so learning the system and the steps behind making it makes sense in my brain. So to watch somebody, like you're saying, mechanically build that image is something I'm kind of interested in.
It's funny because I think about like my roses compared to other people's roses all the time because I learned to draw roses by drawing roses.
Right.
Yeah, like my mom was a floral designer, so she was always bringing home roses and other exotic flowers and things like that. So I would not only draw them, but I would like dissect them and take them apart and see like
Right.
how they bloomed and how they opened.
See, I learned how to draw roses in a traditional street shop. So I know one.
You start out with a
Rose.
figure 8 and build it from there, right?
No, this was a heart.
Okay. That's
Draw a
another
heart.
technique.
Draw the heart, and then you draw like the flipped over front lip of it, and then you build a petal from there, and then you build that bottom one flipped over petal that always looks like a half-eaten pancake or a clam,
You're gonna have to show me this technique.
and then you just draw petals.
I know the figure 8 one.
You'll have to show me figure 8.
Okay, we'll trade.
What? I just felt cool as fuck for a half a second.
See, I'm telling you, Ben and I were having a talk earlier today because he's been practicing snail tattoos and they're coming along and tattooing on the synthetic skin is a little bit different. It's got its own set of challenges. But I looked at Ben and I was like, give me a good reason why not to. He never gave me he gave me reasons. Well, but not like a good reason.
I don't feel like an attribute to the community. There are so many good artists out there that like, y'all just do your thing, boo boo.
But there's always a time and a place for like the folk art tattoo. And like, if you don't want to do like masterpieces,
I want to do that for my friends.
You already respect the history of tattooing. You already like,
Right. But that's why I want to do the snails.
It could be part of the tattoo collecting.
That's
in the future.
my like, hey friends, I haven't been around, but I can do this one fucking tatty.
Like,
I'll blast this tatty.
Ben's gonna be like tattooing and living his best life. And he's gonna be like, you know what? I'm glad I finally stopped listening to my inner whatever it was that told me I wouldn't be good at this. And I just took the leap. And now I'm great at it. And I'm living my best life.
It's not that I wouldn't be good at it. It's just that's y'all's lane. I've been an athletic supporter my whole life. I can be. This is the only thing I fan on. Like, I don't want to ruin it. You know how many things I've ruined because I tried to make money doing it?
Whoa.
Huh? No, like legit. Like, as soon as I do something for a job, it's no longer fun. Don't ruin my fun. I don't want to end up hating you guys.
I mean, I don't think you'd hate it. I think you'd just love it more. Especially when we have like this awesome like avenue to play with, you know, we can make arrangements to go visit. Like that visit to see Dana, that was pretty cool. When I was in Detroit walking
Yeah.
around, I was talking history with Jonas, and he sent me down a rabbit hole of some printmakers that I've been studying. I'm gonna have a history report for you guys soon.
Okay.
And I have a feeling that my own history might intertwine a little bit. So like as far down the rabbit hole as I've gotten is pretty interesting so far.
Right.
I don't want to share half a story. I'm not ready. I got more homework to do.
Heard.
But anyways,
Cool shit's coming.
yeah. Look at this card. It's like a magic
I
card.
know, I love
Isn't
it.
that fantastic? I've got one of Gideon's cards around here. I think it's in my backpack over on the picnic table.
If you want me to grab it.
No.
No, it's all right.
No.
But it's got all of the not all of the machines in his collection, but some like historic machines in his collection.
Right.
It was just pretty cool having like this additional dump of history knowledge into
that's
my lap
cool.
right after I took that trip with Kyle over to see Dana.
Nice. I watched some of that live. It was good. I just didn't have time to
Mm-hmm.
dedicate to be in it. It was a really good show.
Mhm.
I miss Chris. He makes me laugh.
I mean, we could arrange a trip over to Indy.
He's
Hang
a
out with
effing
Chris on a
campground
Thursday.
now.
Could just take a roadie over there.
He has a campground.
I know we could take a
Live
roadie
from the
over there. some
campground.
Can I just be like, bro, can I be your campground manager? You want to talk about a dream job? Fine, let's buy a camp.
You know, you could totally get that too.
Except the whole fact that it's in a different state.
Well, you know, you live on the campground.
My child does not.
Okay, fair point.
If you can talk my child into moving to Indiana and all said parties involved with child, cool.
Fair point.
My friend offered me a job in Alabama.
Bama.
Bama. And Mike's, I've always respected Mike professionally, and he's always done really well. And I've always respected
Always loved
that.
Tony's display. It's just such a huge pop of color where
Right.
everything else at the show is black. Not always anymore, but
Right,
his stuff is the most colorful.
right.
Yeah.
But no
Sorry.
way can I move out of state to get a job like that.
It's a large commitment.
Yeah, I love the people that have taken tattooing the opposite direction. Just like we had talked about a couple weeks ago about the super bright pink with the white highlight, like bubblegum pop. I don't know what else to fucking call it, but that's what rings in my head. Like the super realistic, like not realistic, super cartoony, like almost animation style, but bright pinks, bright yellows,
Mhm.
bright white. Like, I love that stuff. Makes me want a bright pink tattoo.
Get Jess over there holding it down at the True Tattoo Supply booth.
Always has to live.
It's kind of cool. At the Motor City show, so many of the artists that work this show and so many of the vendors that work this show have worked it for years. So it's
Right.
a super similar lineup. This year it was a little bit different because like we mentioned earlier, there was the Cleveland show going on. So there were some artists that just, you know, you got to choose one or the other.
Right. Yeah,
But-
Jenny was in Cleveland. Jenny Michaels.
But one of the cool things is we're all usually in the same place or in pretty close proximity to where we were the year before.
Well, it's kind of like Hell City. You get to build that family reunion vibe, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the same main sponsors and the same main. Yeah, every
Yeah.
now and then they shift in and out a year here, there, but like at the core, it's the same group.
Mackenzie Myers
Hey.
from Hollow Earth. She's here in Columbus. She won some awards, I believe. One for sure, but I think she might have won a couple.
Hollow Earth is Nate, Marty, and Rusty Dornhecker's studio.
Mm-hmm. And she's a color artist. What?
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 Both of them specialize in hyper-realistic black and gray.
Mm,
Well, no, I guess Nate doesn't
like
specialize
in
in hyper,
like horror.
but his horror stuff is
vibe.
hyper-realistic. Like,
It is.
and so, and I was about to like. That's what my
It's like,
point.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, it is.
it's realistic, but it's
not like
real.
it's not like yeah, it comes from someplace else.
Like in real life, I don't think you'd see it, but like if it was in real life, it would look like that,
fair.
right?
Right.
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 With spikes.
Look, they mastered the art of making a tattoo bed out of chairs.
Ouch.
That's how I tattooed my
That's
buddy
all
LB when I
I'm
worked at the
saying.
show one year.
Speaking of
Ouch.
face tatties, that guy's getting the side of his head done.
It's not his face, Kyle.
A similar area.
Good try. Look over there.
Look at those chairs lined up. It's the way to do it.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
I don't know. When I travel, I try to travel incredibly minimalist. I try to work like, obviously I need my colors, so I can't skimp on that. I take all my colors usually, but everything else I make as little and compact as I can. And then instead of like worrying about traveling with a big bulky massage table, which is incredibly inconvenient. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever tried to travel with a massage table, but don't.
You-
If you can figure out a way to like line the chairs up to get your client to lay down, if you could have like a nice foam mat that you could roll out on a table and then cover, that would be awesome.
What's a weight limit on most tables?
Oh, I'm saying think outside the box so that you can
I'm just,
travel minimalist.
Careful flopping the bed size people.
Oh, some of these tables are heavy duty though, man.
Some of them are not.
Fair.
I'm not worried about the sturdy ones. Fine.
That's fair.
Oh, Yoda.
Yoda.
Yoda. And it's just a passionate, wonderful guy, but he swings a sword and then he can fly. He is Yoda.
Yoda.
There's an actual Weird Al song to that.
I
don't think
figured
any
there
of
was.
those
I didn't
words
think you were
correct.
pulling that like out of thin air, but
I don't think any of those words were correct, but it's something like that.
if not, it should be.
I mean, it's close enough. Fun.
Ben,
When we make Tattoo Collecting 101 shirts, on the back of them, can they please say safety team crew?
safety team crew.
Safety break crew.
Safety break crew. They could definitely say something. They should get to say safety first.
No.
Safety crew.
Safety first,
Safety
then
break
teamwork.
is the safety break is definitely the recognizable phrase there.
All right. Safety
Safety
meeting.
break team, safety meeting team,
Safety meeting.
team.
Safety meeting organizer.
Shush. Too many words. Too many syllables.
You get out of here.
I live here, Kyle.
I'm here
house,
more
buddy.
than you are.
That's true. And you should leave.
I really should. Was here for like 16 hours the other day.
I'm sorry, but
What?
Yeah.
You came in early and painted, huh?
Yep. But then I was here late watching Derb too.
I'm glad I laid down the groundwork to be able to provide for you with this amazing experience.
I appreciate it.
Was Derb working on Brian?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy to see how, like, as Brian's project is starting to, I don't want to say like come near an end, but like each session you can really see the growth. Like we were saying, like there are sessions like in the back piece project where it feels like, oh man, you worked on me that long and it only looks that different.
I got black.
He was
Alright.
flying through his back too. He got like 3/4 of the entire back touched.
Yep, but he's been doing it so systematically that now that he's getting to the bright, colorful parts, that it just
Adds
goes
a lot
quick.
of pop. Yeah.
Yep, I saw he got that dragon almost finished, which was huge.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be able to do that if he wouldn't have already had all the black and grays in the background and the flowers already completed. That like working very systematically and like sticking to the plan always ends up being the most efficient way. Like, I don't know, you just learn it the hard way over and over again, and then you just working like a machine is the best way to get these big pieces accomplished.
I can hear and feel this.
Look at, I had to get a
shot.
different angle so we could see this guy's pain. Sorry, I know that's gross, but look, I've been there.
Stick through it, brother. He's handling it like a
Yeah, I know he's doing great. I'm
fucking
not making
champ.
fun whatsoever. I have been in this position.
No, but that's a true tattoo experience. He's a fucking gangster.
You can see it.
He's a gangster.
Yeah, I told you I wasn't making fun. I hope you didn't
No.
think I was like gonna
I'm
zoom
just
in and make fun of him.
reiterating, like he's a gangster.
No,
When they
this is-
tattooed my sternum, somebody sat on my legs. Fuck every second of that. That looks like a list of not.
Yeah,
fun
he's doing
things.
super good. This guy here next to him smiling, laughing, no problem whatsoever.
Give my forearm, Taddy blasted. Great decision I made today. The other guy's soul's leaving his body.
He's getting a little boxer, dude.
Oh, you're looking like a boxer.
Look at him.
I miss my big mustache sometimes. Think about growing it back, doing just stash, getting all
Just a stash.
big and crazy again.
I mean, your stash was pretty epic.
It was pretty glorious. It was pretty glorious.
Sounds like a lot of maintenance.
It was. That's why I don't have it anymore. When like at some point I expected it to stop growing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's
Like,
an art to like trimming it and keeping it groomed.
this is the no, I wanted to see how long it would get.
Mhm.
That was the goal. But when it got to be where I had like thick ass like loops, I'm like, I brushed it down, it was touching my chin, and I was literally like, okay, like, does it stop?
Nope.
Like, is there like a this is how long it gets type of thing? But it was too thick. I couldn't do
You
it.
kept eating pieces of your stash. I bet that hurts.
Like a motherfucker. Get it caught in a sandwich, you got a whole bite of lip in your mouth. Yeah, it was rough.
Oh,
I
man.
liked it a lot, don't get me wrong, but it got to the point like once you trained it, it would stay to one side or the other. And when they're that long, the whole hair loops over your lip. So there's not like a lot of hang off in your mouth. But the process between the two, there was a lot of hair sandwiches.
Well, you're inspiring me to not grow a mustache.
I'm glad, Fun.
Thanks,
That's dope. BTW. Who's that?
Kendall Borg. Kendall
Kendall
Borg
Borg.
tattoo.
You can tattoo my hand, okay? Oh wait. You can tattoo my next hand.
The next hand. We live in Ohio. Strange things happen here.
I both my That's sick. You have my full support. Go into the wild and do your thing, young lady.
Skulls.
She's amazing. Like, I want more skulls, and then I remember that I have a 5-year-old that lives with me. And it's like,
Is she afraid of them or curious about
I
them?
think at some point it'll get weird though. How many are you allowed to have before your kid's like, bro,
Why do we have dead things?
why is there so many dead things at our house? The ones I have now are small, not that noticeable. And I don't think she realizes they're real.
You haven't had that talk.
Why bring it up?
That's fair.
Wait for the confrontation before the conversation.
It's fair.
Well, it's just like there's,
But your skulls are like inside of things. It's
Yeah.
not like you just have like
but
bones chilling.
did someone have to stop me from buying the raccoon taxidermy at the last show? Absolutely.
Well, but we got a nice video of it.
I wanted it so bad, Fawn. Thank you for not letting me buy it.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
Oh, look
you.
at this bodysuit. I almost forgot about this. So nice. This is back to that like systematic tattoos. They're approaching this like a piece at a time and
Well,
getting
that's-
through each step before they move on to the next step.
He's got his ink cap on his back.
Yeah, just
Fuck it.
but look
Guy
how
is
nice the
asleep.
arms are.
Like guy is asleep.
Mhm.
He is out.
It's kind of nice when you're this familiar with your artist. This is probably where Brian's at as well. Like he knows what Derb's doing, even though he
Yeah.
can't watch. Like there's that rhythm that they can achieve.
You
pretty
fall
quickly.
into that
Mhm.
mutual. Like I know she's getting ink. I can adjust my real quick. Know when to breathe.
Mhm.
Always. The answer is always, ladies and gentlemen.
Always breathe.
But sometimes you need that extra deep breath.
Oh, look at this. It was like a combination of
that's the-
Starry Night and
Waves of Navarre.
Mount Fuji.
What's just the wave one called?
It's
Great
Mount
Wave.
Fuji.
Is it
Hokusai.
the Great Wave?
Mhm.
Okay, I knew it was something like that.
Mhm.
I wasn't arguing with you. I just knew that there was like a wave in the title somewhere. I had that on a jumbo poster for a long time in my houses. It moved with me a couple of times. Got taken in the Great Flood of Whitehall.
The Great
2000,
Flood of Whitehall.
2012.
That's what your version's called.
This guy that was standing here
that's
outside
my
the
basement
booth, he
flooded.
saw my hand as I was holding the camera and he's like, "Is that Guy?" And I was like, "No, it's Adam France." He was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about having Guy do," and he starts telling me about his idea for Guy. I was like, "That's cool." I was like, "He did my armpits." He was like, "Your armpits?" I was like, "Yeah, I got a lot of work."
Yeah.
I forget that that's not just a normal thing.
Right.
That like, yeah, he did my armpits.
I've been frequently visiting the chiropractor and went in shorts and a t-shirt for the first time the other day. And they were like, "Oh, you're like tattooed. And I was like, I mean, I guess. Just a little. I would
So-
like a percentage.
One of the cool things about my back that is like not a planned thing, but kind of like a happy accident. Of course, it's based on the block designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, which,
The Biltmore block.
yep, the Biltmore block. But all of the angles of the Biltmore block are based off of the refraction, like the mathematic angle for the refraction of light. So it's pretty like precise and sacred. So my back's based on that. And it's symmetric in all directions. But when I like lay down and my massage therapist is working on me, she always giggles because like certain specific points are at certain specific points in my tattoo, which is like, we didn't plan that, but man, like when you start talking about like the
Old school
energies
healing.
of the body
Yep.
and balance and
Well-
things like that, to see that like specific like nerve cluster points are right where like these sacred geometric angles converge.
Do you remember what was the Utso man? The Utso man, the ice
Yep.
dude. Most of his tattoos were in places where he had like fibromyalgia.
Oh, look at Gabe's.
Or-
This is Gabe Londis. He's working on Leanne all weekend in Detroit.
Also hilarious. Gabe.
Yeah.
But like all of them were done for medical reasons. To that they think it was like specific on these nerve clusters to help with some kind of ailment.
Like they were probably like tattooing some kind of salve and some kind of medicine or tincture, or maybe it was even just like early acupuncture.
Right. So that was super intriguing to me. Same, they know where to put the tensor units because they've now figured out where on the picture to put them back every time. So they use my tattoo as a reference. Like, no, we stick
Nice.
one on his tooth and one on his chin, and we're good. Or whatever it was. I don't remember what they said, but
Oh man.
what is his name?
Villa.
Good job, Kyle. You win the day. That was great.
I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like Villa Velasco.
I know who you're talking about. He looks super familiar.
I
Not in a, like I
definitely-
recognize
you'll
his
see
work
his,
and like I
name.
recognize him kind of way. Nope, did not see his name.
I think that was there. Go back.
No, that's okay. I know he is. Crispy, crispy. I
Try to get in there.
want to tattoo.
Do you remember that one time several months ago where I was like, if you're gonna work conventions, I challenge you to like sit in a way that people can actually see what you're doing. Like
Yeah.
everybody's working off of like toolboxes and little carts. Just do the same exact thing that you're doing, but just turn the other way around so you're not hiding in the corner.
Like all these people that are hiding in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to show off the work that you're doing, why be at a show?
Heard.
It's like showing up with an electric guitar and getting up on stage, but not plugging it in.
Fair.
Why would you?
That's the same reason I wear long sleeves and pants to most conventions. Because I don't want to talk about it.
Don't wanna talk.
Just want to go and
about
do your
it.
thing.
Yes, man. That's it. I mean, I do the same thing when I backpack. I-
Your little black backpack.
Fuck off. But I essentially wear long sleeves and will wear like wicking sweatpants or something like that, like long pants. Just so I don't have to talk to every single person I pass.
It is funny how different the conversations become when I take my clothes off.
No, Kyle. You ain't feeling it. You get to feel
No, none of those
no
conversations.
feeling at all. None.
I was trying to chime in with you.
Yeah, that was the wrong decision.
That wasn't the right.
That was not right. No.
Well, I'll learn.
Yep.
This is Johnny Andres. We had him on a few months ago.
Yeah.
I should get in touch with him and make another trip up to see him. He won a few awards this weekend as well.
What's the next show? Chicago?
Yep, Chicago is not this weekend, but next weekend. So I would imagine we'll get there early enough that I'll be able to at least walk around and do a little bit of a pre-show with you guys.
I might go with you.
That would be rad.
Considering that I'm currently not employed again and don't think I'll be employed by next weekend.
Chicago bound.
I mean, you're talking 17th, 18th?
Yeah.
Oh, nope, can't go. I have a cooking class on the 18th.
Cooking class.
Yeah, for a birthday present, I got a cooking class with one of the chefs that does like OSU stuff.
Nice.
And we're taking a butter sauce class. I'm actually
Ooh.
pretty fucking pumped on it because I love hollandaise sauce.
Mhm.
It's
Oh, I know.
it's my love for butter gravy, right?
Mhm.
And it's just one of those sauces that like the work plus the sauce, and it was never balanced in my mind, and it was easier to buy a packet and get 98% of the way there than make it. So I never took the time, even coming up as a chef. That sounded pretentious. Coming up as somebody that worked in kitchens a lot, I never took the time to learn to make hollandaise. And I've always complained that I don't have, that's one of the things I don't have in my bag. That's a trick I don't have.
It's just roux with lemon, right?
No.
What goes into hollandaise? Because I just get the McCormick packet
Yeah, same.
myself.
And
It
just-
seems to be
just
my
whip it,
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's butter and egg yolk, slowly
Mm.
whipped to make sure you have the right consistency, and then cut with lemon at the end. So there's a whole double boil thing going on, and like I get it. I've just never taken the time to learn and find
I do love
a
a
my
good
way.
hollandaise.
Um,
You know,
Eggs Benedict is my favorite meal.
ask you something.
It's something. Hit me with it, Chipmunk. What's going on?
Can I get half a Benny?
No.
How come I always get a whole Benny and I can't eat a whole Benny at breakfast time plus crispy potatoes?
Same. I agree. So, and if you came to the Holy Crepes, we would serve you half a Benny.
Well, could it just be a prerequisite that, like, if I'm having eggs Benedict, I'm only gonna have half. So whoever I'm having eggs Benedict has to be obligated to also have eggs Benny.
I agree with that. I will eat a third. I got no close to that, but I think you should be able to order it that way. I mean, it's a fucking English muffin. You can't use the other half for the next person that gets
Can I
half.
just get half a Benny?
You know, we can call it the fawn because it's just a little baby version.
Font size.
Bonnie
The
instead
fawn,
of the Benny.
the fawn Benny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm in.
Sorry, I thought you.
By the way, I don't.
Squeak. I feel like it led to this was going to be more serious of a question.
I don't know if you know this, but Holy Crepes is my imaginary crepe restaurant. That's Waffle House style.
Waffle House style?
Yeah,
But
but crepes.
I didn't know it was Waffle House.
Oh yeah, bro. Short order, just like all fresh, fast cash.
So do you know
No
when you
bigger
was
than a full
kid,
child.
if I would have been born, if I was like a chidler now, here's what I would do with my free time. I would probably have, instead of a tattoo show, it would probably be me pretending to be a short order cook.
That's
in
what my
my own
daughter does
kitchen.
all day long.
Yeah, that's what my like childhood YouTube account would be, is just short order cook and combining snacks. And like, I wasn't even a stoner or a bad kid or anything, but man, I can make some great stoner snacks.
I had to sit sweet little baby down the other day. She's like, Dad, I'm gonna be a chef. She said I'm gonna be a cooker. And I was like, Dad, I was like, baby, no. You can be a chef, but that's not gonna be your job. Like, do you want to learn how to cook? I'm all fucking for it. And you're gonna be the best home chef ever. Daddy can throw down. I'll buy you cooking stuff right now. You can pick any job in this world but work in a restaurant.
Anything
as a
but
guy
food service.
that worked in food service from
Look at how good these
14
black and
to,
gray
oh
pieces
man, that's
are.
insane, to 30. Don't do it. It's a lot of fun, but you end up with a Coke out of it.
Oh, from working in kitchens?
Oh, just being in the restaurants.
I've never worked in a restaurant. I mean, I worked at a pool hall that we made pizza and bartended
It's
and
not quite the same vibe.
did all the things.
That's sick. I like that.
Sorry to distract you from your storytelling. We're just getting to the end of the day. Tattoo of the day. Super duper nice.
Oh,
work.
yeah.
Remember what I was saying about this piece was done in 7 hours.
That's dumb.
Yeah, 7 hours, and it was really nice and really smooth up close.
Look at that.
There we go.
Bam.
Nice
That is
focus.
crispy as shit.
That one selective highlight in the eye. Yep. See how that skin is showing through. That's a good example of a black and gray artist using opaque grays, but there's still a lot of that skin breathing through. It's
And we
still
step on
black
to the
and
next
gray.
great example of same theory.
Mhm.
Oh, my ears are sweating.
Carl.
He's so much fun. We got him to chime in on making fun of the intern for being 12 a little bit.
Kyle can't help it that he's 12.
Yeah, he can.
And 13 now.
Agitate.
Had a birthday a while ago.
We got him through Point Break, and then he told me he hadn't seen Pulp Fiction
Kyle.
or Reservoir Dogs.
Kyle. Do you even know who Quentin Tarantino is?
I
No,
do.
he doesn't. He doesn't.
I do.
You've seen Kill Bill, right?
Parts.
Fucking Christ.
He doesn't even understand the sign in my room then.
He doesn't.
You don't, do you? The one above my door.
No.
He doesn't. Kyle. Oh,
Okay, Kyle,
you're gonna love it.
Go
so
ahead
much
and pack
more.
your stuff. Get your bag. You're
It's
fired.
funny. We were talking about Django earlier too. Have you seen Django?
I have. Yeah.
All of it?
Yes.
All of it?
That's an important question to ask.
I didn't argue with her. I just laughed because
I've been having the thought in the back of my mind to watch movies out here.
This one's super
Eventually.
nice. This was a Kelly Doty piece. Let me see if I get a better shot of it. She won tattoo of the day color with that one.
she's fun. Where did I meet her?
Kelly, she's definitely been at Hell City.
I mean, that would explain it. Detroit Motor City.
What was it? The
Fawn,
27th?
have you nailed us down an MCing job yet?
I mean, are we serious about doing that?
Do you want to
Because
be
I feel like
serious
it
about
wouldn't be
doing it?
hard.
I didn't see the fuck out of a convention.
I feel like the two of us together could MC hardcore, and
I don't-
then we drag Kyle along as our
I don't want to take Carl's job though. He's amazing.
comedic outtake.
We got to stay off of his toes. He's my friend.
I mean, he's not the only MC around.
I know, but he's the best. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying.
I don't think we'd step on his toes.
I'm just saying I don't want to.
We could hit Carl up and be like, "Hey, Carl, we're thinking about doing this. You want to give us some advice?" And he'll probably be like, "Here's a list of things. Boom.
Bless.
Have fun."
Yeah, I think we'd be fine.
I think we'd be great MCs. Two MCs together.
I think you guys would do great too.
Shut up, Kyle.
Kyle.
You meant to say Ben, but you said
No,
Kyle.
no, I was giving Kyle my sympathy. Poor Kyle. We're like, Kyle, you're gonna stand for this?
I heard the whimper in it.
If it was Ben, it would have been like, Ben.
Yeah, that's fair.
The inflection would have been different.
That's fair. That's like
Poor
you just messed
Kyle.
up yelling at me.
No.
First, I got my lunch taken from me. Now I'm
You
getting
did.
Trash.
That
on.
wasn't me though. Gang
Yeah.
rules, bitch. Get used to it.
Yeah, I'm getting bullied for that.
Excuse me.
Look, he's using true tattoo tape, and that's not what we handed out. So that means he's already
Brought
using
it.
it.
I need to take some with me. My battery gets a little shaky. So,
Shaky. You pinch the little pieces of it. I may have dropped it a few times.
it's it 99.98% of the time, smooth as butter. That was not a complaint. A couple little will make it perfect. Kyle, is the donation box open? The sample box. Do you have any tape in the sample box?
I don't believe so.
Fuck, Kyle. You never hear from me when I need you.
That's not my fault.
Yes, it is.
We try not to waste product.
Totally your fault.
Why you gotta blame everything on Kyle?
Because it's Kyle's fucking fault. Hacked
We got grip.
house.
Gabe told me to jab you in the ribs, by the way, for not putting the Detroit Motor City Expo in the title of today's stream, but whatever.
Jesus, Kyle. You only have 13 jobs.
well, you
how would
know,
you let
it'll
this
be in
one
there
detail fall through the
In
crack?
the next day or two. For sure.
Jesus
Within the
Christ.
next day or two. Kyle.
I'll put it in right now.
Kyle is fire.
Don't fire him today. He hasn't, you know, Kyle, you haven't been fired lately.
I know. It's been a great feeling. That's called growth.
Oh, man. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's called growth.
In some way, shape, or form.
Look at that. What did we call that mech? Cheese mech from the 90s?
Swiss cheese bio.
Yeah, where it's just like swirls looping into other swirls. I zoom in close enough. If you're paying attention, you can steal tricks and secrets. Green tattoo tape from True Tattoo Supply.
True Tattoo Supplies. Sorry, I just got real sad. I looked at my phone and realized it was the day that Mama died.
Yeah.
Hey, we like her.
Yeah, we need to have Andrea on again.
She was a lot of fun. She's got
She's
a really
awesome.
rad, like Polynesian, right? Is that what her majority of her tattoo is?
Mostly, yes.
That's what I thought. Just making sure I remember the right person.
We've talked
Oh, that is
about
not a mannequin. That is a human being.
yeah, that is a whole human. We've talked about Mexicano on here a lot because he's entered like forever.
Right.
And like you know, we all kind of had our own opinion on entering the same competition over and over again, even though you've already taken that award. Or long story short, he's got a lot of new work. One of his sleeves is almost complete now, and he brought his collection
Nice.
up onto his neck. So
He's
been-
justified in entering more.
Yes, he has been going hard in the paint. He has a lot of new work. So when there's new work on the same collector, get back in those competitions, enter that work again,
Right.
enter that bodysuit again. But like for me, if I've already won the award and I haven't gotten any new work, I'm not going to enter the same
Well,
one
it's-
again. So
someone
just-
we know was saying the other day they had over 200 and some awards, and I'm just like, stop. You know what I mean? Like, save some pussy for the rest of us, bro. Damn.
I mean, for me, the variable is there new work in the collection. If there's new work, enter away. If there's no new work, man.
Yes and no. If you're still collecting from the same wheelhouse of artists, and you're not like, I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, with this guy, we've just talked about him before. He's a fantastic collector. He's a super nice guy. But it's just one of those, like, is there anything wrong with it? No, it's just one of those opinion things. But anyways, long story short, he's got a ton of new work. So enter away, win a whole batch of new awards, win a whole bunch of new best of show, because you've got a lot of new work and it makes a difference.
Right.
His work is phenomenal though.
Oh, it is.
Like even the work that he's had for years, you can get in up close. The
crisp.
details there, the white highlights are there.
And he's a super cool dude.
But he's one of those people, when he takes his shirt off, he loves the attention. He eats it up. He'll
Yeah.
stand there and show off for anybody to take pictures and get close.
It's a lot of investment. You might as well be proud of it.
Is this when Kyle had the camera?
Yes.
Duh. See how awesome it's not?
Why you gotta be so mean to him?
Why you gotta be so mean?
It's a learning process.
Don't you know Kyle's human too?
He's gonna get through it anyway. Is that the boogie oogie man?
Zero, my boy.
Zero. Boogie, 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 boogie.
Some of these cover-ups, now that I see the pictures that they're holding in their hand, that these things are covering, are incredible. Yes.
Uh-oh, Harley, don't look.
It's okay. They slanted it and put it at a 45-degree angle and then pinched the edge. So
No, they didn't.
that doesn't count. That's not enough. That was not, that's not altered enough.
No, they didn't.
What if they like what if they
No.
what if they put a D in there and it's actually Hardly David?
Hardly nails
Is
it.
that okay?
Yes. You'd have to make it Faberson though. I think the direct name is,
Oh wow.
yeah, I'd have covered that. I mean, oh wow.
That's a great cover up. That's a perfect example of how to like camouflage the cover up in the area that's just like an accent.
That's what we were
Two.
talking about last week, like busy lines and
Hmm.
pulling your eye away with motion and things along those lines are tricks that most people wouldn't think about.
All right.
I see you.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
It is just like a straight up blast over, but there's so much going on you don't even notice it at first. Nice.
I respect the blast over. I
know.
saw
Sometimes I almost kind of think it adds a little bit of a additional layer
Logan Bram, I think if I said his last name right, just did a hand blast over of a super tight technical mandala, and what was underneath it was not the most beautiful thing in the world, but it really added like this layer of depth that you couldn't have faked, you couldn't have planned, you know what I mean? It was really cool.
I'm sure somewhere along this footage, we've got a close up of Andrea's left arm. So she had like early color work from Loaf, who's her artist, who's done all of her work, but she had it all lasered off. So there's like these yellows and pinks from her color work that are still just showing through underneath her Polynesian work, just a little bit. And I've competed against her, but I've also judged her work next to other tribal and geometric work.
Right.
And it, some people who judge that might look at that as a flaw, but I love it. I love what it adds. Like on that piece, I love it. So sometimes, I don't know, sometimes the blast over is fine. Other times you got to totally bury that cover up if you want it to be successful.
If you're leaving enough highlight that it's adding a light gradient or something along that, you know what I mean? Like, I think it just adds this whole depth to it that you'd never be able to get without it. Sometimes it ruins it. Probably should have filled that one in there, bud.
Sometimes cover ups just need a whole nother pass altogether.
It's true.
Just to camouflage and hide, you've got to saturate a little bit more than you normally would. Oh man, that torso. There's this traditional torso piece. It was like the Grim Reaper on a horse, but it has all these big bold purple clouds behind it. He was just standing in line. It was just a really impressive traditional piece. It's one of the ones that I happened to be standing up on stage listening to the judges deliberate, because they in Detroit, they don't give like first, second, third, they just give 3 awards in each category.
Right.
So they were like going back and forth between this piece and this piece, and they were like, oh wait, this isn't the 4th one, this is the 3rd one. Oh, then both. So it's funny to like, they were trying to figure out which one was better, and
They didn't have to.
Correct.
They did the same thing in Pittsburgh. There was just 3 best. There was no winner.
Is that how it was there too?
Yep. Which, I mean, like, okay, but like, tell me I won. Secretly, just like on the side, be like, yours was the best.
We talk about all the different systems of judging. So Detroit is, I mean, it's one of the older shows. The judges know what to expect. The people that attend and are joining the competitions know what to expect. So everything goes really seamlessly in Detroit. At the Villain Arts shows, it always goes really seamlessly. We talk about Villain Arts as a well-oiled machine pretty much all the way around. But it's cool to see how efficient this system can be, as opposed to like what we're doing at Hell City now with the cards. Like the difference is with this, everybody in the crowd doesn't have any idea what's going on with the deliberation process. There's not a camera on these tattoos broadcasting it, unless you're following Tattoo Collecting 101.
We're gonna broadcast live a bunch this year from Hell City.
Yeah, I think it was really successful. I got a lot of really good feedback when Kyle and I went live for a couple of the competitions. So as well as that went, I think I'm just going to get a backup phone so I can just have one constantly charging, because when I stream, it zaps my battery.
Yeah.
Or I could just get a power pack and carry it on.
I was gonna say, I've got a super hefty battery pack.
I always have my backpack on, so I could just have it in there. But anyways, I'd love to start bringing you these competitions live more often. But what I was saying, there's pros and cons with the different judging systems.
All right,
this
bro,
one went
you win.
Great.
He wins. I don't even know what the competition is, but
I
he
think
wins.
this one's traditional.
Yeah, he won. Get this tomahawk piece of shit out of here.
That was a really nice piece, Ben.
Yeah, it really was.
How
He lost.
It didn't even like right in the ditch. It was nice and beautiful.
These are all great tattoos. They still lost.
I mean, that hand's pretty rad
That's
with the
crisp.
sickle.
I like it. Where'd the fingers go though?
They were there. I'm just gonna assume this is Kyle with the camera. I don't know. I
It
can't keep a track
does.
of whether it was me or him anymore.
I can. I can tell.
You can tell. You can
Yeah.
tell the shaky hands.
Yeah.
Old shaky
Yeah.
hands.
Kyle likes to zoom.
KB shaky hands over there.
Kyle likes to zoom. You like to pan.
That's fair.
That's truth.
Well, thanks for
Oh,
pointing it out.
oh, there you go.
I'm still trying to figure out what are good shots and what aren't.
It's okay.
Not
We're
that.
all learning together.
Don't zoom.
You know,
Got
you know what you don't do is that. You know what you should do is just go back and watch some of the stuff that I shot and just
Yeah.
study.
Okay.
You can zoom, but it's
Right. Get close up of your own hand.
no. That wasn't me.
That was not yours.
that was
Okay. I
Sean.
thought you said it was. Sorry.
I thought it probably was. I was assuming,
I was taking your
but it
word.
wasn't.
I was trusting you.
Don't look at that color wash. Go back. I want to see. That was
Oh, look at that.
Let me
Look at
see.
that sunset.
Let me see. You can have my baby, sir, or whatever. Just
Look at that nebulous sky.
fading down to like the palm tree sky, like the pink.
Hmm.
I love it. Ooh, that's scary. I don't like that one.
Bananas.
Yes.
Kyle was saying, I think it was before we were live, he realized what a challenge lighting can be. Because on
Yeah.
stage there were 3 different kinds of lights.
Yeah.
And they're all just like blaring high power out.
Yeah.
It's like
you're
too
gonna
much
learn-
lights and not enough lights all at the same
You're
time.
gonna learn all about throw and cast and depth and like, yep, it's
Yep.
all coming. Because I mean, we said all that.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the AV experience that is Hell City Tattoo Convention?
I'm ready.
What are you guys gonna do to him?
Everything we
You
can.
put me through hell and
I
back.
feel like you guys have always been nice to me just because I happen to have the right adapter somewhere as
Okay.
far as the AV crew goes.
But I'm the
Before
intern.
that, you were like, get away.
Well, fine.
But
You're
now,
just-
what are you
you're a
gonna do
homie.
with this guy?
Give him work to do.
Do I have to keep an eye out for any kind of hazing?
No, I'm not violent.
I just want to check.
If I'm
Like, I
gonna
don't
beat him, it
know.
would have been done already.
You can
You
do
guys are
emotional
weird.
hazing.
Emotional hazing. Shut the
AV
fuck
guys
up.
are weird.
Case in point.
Um, the AV team is shifted and changed this year. It's gonna be a few of the same
Bare
familiar
bones.
faces. No, not bare bones by any means, but we've got a couple
Brian,
Couple
who
of
helps
new
out in
faces.
True Tunes booth, he'll be doing major stuff.
Yep,
Ben will
Brian-
be doing major
yep.
stuff.
Brian and I, and then like Logan's shifting on to be a little bit more AV oriented than just
Are
load
you
in,
are you
load out.
handing down camera duties?
Probably. More
What?
than likely
Have to have
we're
a ceremony.
adopting Kyle. More than likely we're adopting Corey. Not tattoo Corey, my Corey. He's
Mhm.
not mine. I mean, he's a goddamn free adult. But like, you know,
Yeah.
so there's gonna be a lot of new faces, a little attitude shift, and I think we're gonna have a fucking good time this year.
I think so too.
I would agree.
I feel like I'm about to sneeze.
Remember, you're not a fish.
Right, you are not a fish.
You
That's the hiccups.
Are not
That's
a
hiccups.
fish. Or did you sneeze?
I still have the urge.
Okay,
It's
think
there.
about a cucumber.
A cucumber.
Cucumbers.
I know. I feel like I have
No,
an allergy attack coming
cucumber fish.
on.
Tuna salad, cucumber sandwich. Yes.
You're so weird.
We got there. See?
Look at this optical illusion going on.
It's
Some
okay.
crazy Alex Gray stuff.
It's okay.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
I wish I knew who did it.
it was me.
Hmm.
I sneak off in my free time and blast Alex Gray full sleeves.
Just like it's your job.
I just don't tell anybody.
Cool. Cool, Ben.
Oh, how did that turn into horror people? Like I'm checking out a feather. There was next thing I know,
Is this sleeve? Is that this category?
Yes.
thanks, Fawn.
What?
Sleeves.
No, right back to another sleeve.
Yeah, flourish.
So as a judge, how do you compare that black and gray and red horror sleeve to this?
Technically.
Bananas.
Raspberries and flowers.
Look at them amanitas.
Coverage, skill, technique. That's dark. Tone wise, not content wise. I hope that one took my eyes a second. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's really cool.
Nice.
Brokeback Mountain.
Breaking Bad.
Oh,
Same
That's
difference.
what? You two are on one tonight.
I thought it was Brokeback.
No,
Breaking Bad, whatever.
not
Like
gay
a
cowboys.
rhinestone cowboy.
Meth making chemistry teacher.
Potato, potato.
Eh,
I think you could clip it in the right way.
I think a gay cowboy on meth might be the best show ever, though. Can we launch that? Wait, we did. It was called Tiger
this
King.
is really nice. I wonder what Derb thought of this one when it came across.
He probably hated it.
I
Yeah,
bet he loved
that's really nice. As soon as I start looking at something, it goes away.
Noted.
it. These are Johnny Andres for sure.
Oh, look at that glow intent.
hmm Look at the alien and the UFO.
I'm gonna
and
get
flying
you for
saucer.
camping. Gotta pay the toll troll.
So good.
So good.
So good.
Fawn's gonna do an alien
Bum,
tattoo on
bum,
me.
bum, bum. I feel good. I knew that I would. See, his work was so good. Here's a dinosaur one that we were nerding out about.
I saw a meme the other day, and it was God standing over the world, dropping his 5100 Nokia. And then the next clip is the phone crashing through the atmosphere, and all the dinosaurs running, and he goes, "Oops!"
Oops.
It made me laugh.
I like that it was the Nokia.
It's Nokia 5100,
Kyle.
not the 5190, the 5100. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what one you're talking about.
The drug
original
dealer,
brick.
the drug dealer phone of choice, because the battery lasted for 4 days and it didn't have an antenna.
You could swap out the extra long lasting battery
Yep.
on it.
It fit in your hand. God bless the 2000s. Made me laugh. What's the point of that? Think that a Nokia destroyed the dinosaurs. Made me chuckle.
So good.
Made me chuckle. I love that Derb just grabs people's arms like, nope, tilt this way. No chance for error. I want that.
He does. He does just reach out and touch strangers a lot.
I love it.
But
That's
he touches these people like gingerly, barely grabs their wrist. You know how he touches me, Ben? Do you know?
aggressively. I do know, as someone that
I
did
could be
combat
minding my
sports
own
when she with Derb.
business, and the next thing I know, he'll be choking me out with my own left arm.
Jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I know. I used to train with him.
So
I
I've
think that's
learned-
just part of being here.
It is. It
Yeah.
really is. But I've learned to just go limp when it
Just-
happens. Just
just
go limp.
go.
Just
I do the same thing.
There's been, we always have to stop. You know, next step is going to get cranky.
and it's funny because it'll start out so innocently. It'll just be like a hand on my shoulder, and before I know it, his long arm is wrapped
Pretzel.
around my neck, and he's got like my hood in one hand, and simultaneously like yoking up my other arm with the same hand because his hands are as big as my whole head.
I know.
I'm the
It's a
I'm the
certain level of
demonstration
trust.
dummy
Yeah.
a
A
lot.
certain level of
And
trust.
that's why bonds grow so fast during combat sports. Because, like, you trust them not to kill you or break you or rip off your appendage or snap your elbow or It's a unique experience like none other.
I don't think I saw this one in person.
That's sick. If Kyle would slow down and hold fucking still, it'd be great. Oh, was a Liberty Bell on his knee. Oh, we almost saw that tattoo. Whoop, there it was.
Well, now we know we got to slow down a little bit longer.
Come on, Kyle. I'm getting a super late baby phone call. Give me a second.
I love this green and gray next to each other. There's a lot to take in this one. Oh, look at that red and orange up at the top. Awesome.
I really appreciated the fact like the panels on that one were cut because I see a lot of like panel tattoos like that in the anime style where it's like very grid like. I
Mhm.
feel like that's just like too blocky, you know. So I appreciate the fact that it was like diagonal cuts.
Man. Beautiful work. I feel like it would be intrusive if we did put like the behind the scenes deliberation, but maybe sometime we could. Maybe like for Chris's show or maybe Hell City, we could incorporate some of the actual sound and, you know.
Put like a little wireless mic on them.
Yeah, I think at Hell City maybe, and if Chris, he does the card system too. That's why I think either of those shows would work well because we could hear. It's not like, you know, in those shows with the cards, it's not like they're pulling out specific things they don't like they have to with this system sometimes.
Right.
You just get to hear the strengths, the strong things, the things that are done well, the things that are more original or more unique. I also love hearing, like, seeing and hearing how unusual some of these new ideas really are. Look at this geometric work. It's so good. But how do you compare that with what we just saw?
Exactly.
Kyle.
It's a tough competition.
Is that that's Andrea, isn't it?
I don't.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Yeah.
Look at that waterfall. All right. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in that one. So cool. I wonder how long they have in this leg. Their other leg's completely done too, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that knee. You see that Venus flytrap on the knee?
Mm-hmm.
That's gnarly. How original. Ben, this guy's got a Venus flytrap on his knee.
Yes.
I bet Kyle cuts the camera off before you get to take it in. See?
Yep. No, that was cool. I'm glad I meandered at that exact moment.
Hey, you know what? To be fair, that one was on screen for a long while. That's a you problem.
Who's that?
Gonna say some kind of singer.
It looked like the guy from Matrix.
It could have been.
Not Neo, but Morpheus was the name I was looking for.
Good.
Damn.
We need to take another roadie up to Detroit. We just should.
Just for Detroit, it?
Yeah, go visit Johnny again and like go have some conies somewhere, hit Pizza Popolis.
You're speaking my language.
It's in Greek town.
Mm,
I believe it's actually a Chicago chain, but
I like Greek
they're in
food.
Detroit. So good.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the wavies.
I like the selective use of red in that. This is cool. It's really nice.
Could use a depth.
Mm-hmm. I'm like leaning back to take it in more.
Right. It's a screen. Your perception will be the same from
Yeah.
further back.
Yeah, it's the same.
Could you imagine me like, I want a tattoo of a guy bending over on a plank? Do you think that was his idea? Or do you think his artist was like, no, bro, I got you. This is the back piece trio.
I bet he just identified with the photograph that it was done from.
Fine, fawn, makes sense of it. Like, geez. Where's your sense of adventure?
I don't know, but look at this guy.
He's reaping it up. Oh, that was a cool tattoo for a second. Bye, Tiger.
Kyle, you did a great job.
I mean,
Thank you.
But actually, you did a pretty good job.
if you're striving for mediocre, you did amazing.
I'm doing the best I
Well,
can,
is there
man.
somewhere,
Because you're the
Ben.
best.
Can't you be nice about anything? And that is pretty nice.
That's really good.
Go look back at the earlier episodes with me. We're doing better.
I agree. Used to be real bad. Now it's just bad.
I'll take it. I'm doing bad.
Come on, that was good. Hey, that's our friend. Talking about people. I don't get that one. Just gonna throw it out there.
I feel like maybe it wasn't quite complete yet. There was still some open stuff going on.
So we got some Mayan, we got some Tesla, we got some Jaguar.
I don't think that's Tesla.
You don't? Who's that?
If I had to guess, I'm gonna say probably an outlaw gunslinger or
Yeah, it fits right in with the Mayan up top.
or
Oh, that was cool. Is that Davy Jones's locker?
all right, Kyle. From now on, you need to just like get more footage longer.
Okay.
Is that Davy Jones's locker with the unproportionate ship down at the bottom? I don't the what? That's such a detailed ship. Why would you make it so fucking small? Is it like skull staring it down? Oh yeah, okay, good combo. That
Ben,
is a tiger
you're feisty tonight, Ben.
tonight.
Oh, this is the rest of the bodysuit attached to that waterfall we were looking at.
For all of 5 seconds.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks. You sure can ruin a joke.
Ruined.
Wait, how's that snake alive if that's a piece of him?
Chomped, Ben. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
You ever seen the snake that was cut its head off and then bit itself because it couldn't recognize what body it was because it was detached, and then inserted venom into itself and then like freaked out? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, huh?
Nature.
Wow.
Kyle, what
Yeah.
happened?
They were talking about the winners.
He forgot he had the camera.
Well, I
In
assumed that there was going to
his
be
hand.
sound as well.
What? Mm. It's okay. I enjoy vomiting.
Kyle,
I was trying to not.
Sometimes you don't even realize you are, bud. And as long as you're pure in heart, that's all that matters. Just like we were in Pittsburgh, this young lady was leaving the stage and had an amazing tattoo on the back of her leg. And she also was in cheeky shorts. And I didn't realize that her cheekies were out until like she had been halfway down the stage. And everybody took that. Not everybody. Fawn was like, "Man." I'm like, oh, I guess her butt is out. It's not what I was.
Well, it's because you're so focused on trying to get the tattoo as well.
See,
And you're-
these are the two
you're
they were
looking too
nitpicking
discreet.
to see which one was better than the other. And they're like, oh, wait, both of them? Oh, okay. Well, they both win then.
Was that negative space, Kyle? Because you wait, what? Huh. Hi, Derb. Okay. That's it. Do you know what that's called on the back of the head there? That's called the hot dog roll. Because you can always just fit a little hot dog in there.
Nice. Nice, Ben.
I'm working on mine.
I think if I remember right, Kyle had the handheld and I think I was live streaming.
Oh, that's why it's ringing.
Yeah, Instagram got the good angle.
So if you want to see what this was supposed to look like, hit up Fawn Baker on Fawn Baker Instagram and
Or
or tattoo collecting
boom.
101.
I
What?
made a post today.
You posted something
I posted something today. I
on
did.
what?
On Instagram.
An Insta post.
A reel.
What?
I know. I
Sharing a
didn't.
Not
really-
on 101 on Fawn Baker.
I collabed it, so it's on.
I
So it was both.
I shared it to both, but
love
you
it.
know, I gotta let people know I'm alive and still making artwork.
How much tape we got left?
I think we're pretty much done with it. The
Perfect.
rest of it is like talking about the winners since we don't have sound. So
Good job, Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle.
Kyle, I'm gonna say for not being good at your job, this was mediocre.
thanks.
I'll let it slide this time.
Why are you so mean to him?
That was encouraging and
always?
building up.
That
I'll,
was
I'll take
building up.
mediocre.
Tell me what tearing down would be.
I don't think we can do that. I don't think people would want to listen to that, Fawn. You want Kyle to still talk to me, right?
Just like hypothetically, like what would tearing down
No,
be?
we don't hypothetical these things because hypothetical words still hurt.
Well, you know, sometimes you need a rough critique.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm rough with you.
Someone's got to be.
It's because of the love. Where is the love?
I love these Wednesday and
Yeah.
things.
Somebody's stealing my car right
The
now.
lighting
hear
was horrible. That tattoo was actually very beautiful. Later on, I get a little bit better of a shot of it.
Be a little swelly still.
Yeah. It looks dark and rough, but it was actually very, very nice.
No, it just-
nicely well
It
done.
looked fresh in my mind.
Mhm.
Talk about that unique use of negative space. Well, never
That
mind.
was Nico Perez again. I believe. I'm pretty sure that's who that was.
It's like the one I intentionally don't talk. This is the ones he stays on forever.
I think this is me with the camera this time.
I don't.
I think it is.
I don't.
I'm pretty sure it's me.
I mean, there is a lot of panning going on.
Yeah, well, there's a dead giveaway. There's Kyle in the shot.
That's not Kyle.
It's just a clone.
That's
Some
the
other-
intern. Look at
some
the
other
Hobbit. You
Intern
see
like
the
guy.
image? That was that's the Hobbit.
Yeah, you're right. Have you been watching too many intern shots? You're using this. You're using the Zoom a lot there.
Well, he's in the crowd. Look at that pan. It went from a zoom to a
As soon as I
360
said it, I was
pan.
like, "There's the room shot." Yep, that's fine.
Well, another like 6 hours for the lower part of this.
As a collector, I applaud you because fuck every second of that. 6-hour convention tattoo. Suck it.
It's not their fault. We got bigger tattoos, Ben.
Yeah, it is.
Or is it your fault for getting the bigger tattoo?
No, Kyle. Oh, Sanoderm. That one hurt my brain for a half a second.
It actually is a good tattoo.
No, it looked great. It just
Great
took a
shot
second
through the
to.
Sanoderm.
Ouch. You want to talk about a warrior? He looks a lot of raw. Ooh. I like it.
Cow.
Yeah.
We got to see
Is
the
that
very start
Einstein?
of that in the beginning.
So is that Einstein?
I don't think.
No, on the left.
I don't know. Got me, Ben.
Yeah, I did.
Got me.
Yeah, I did. You didn't even get it. It wasn't that good.
Doesn't even know I'm filming him.
If you don't know, now you know.
Or does he?
He does. Full on Wookiee yawn. Must be creeping on 9.
Tis indeed.
Indubitably.
8:56. We're pretty much to the end of the show. I think I might have a little bit more footage for tattoo of the day, but we've already seen all the tattoos.
There'll be intern footage. You don't want that.
Intern footage.
Better than out of turn footage, I guess.
Yeah, we definitely have to do something about this connection speed. If there's a way we can make this not choppy for the future, because everything on the camera is nice and smooth.
Sorry, guys.
We'll get it figured out. Look at that intern up there.
Oh, he's being all intern like. Oh, he looks tired.
By Sunday, everybody's tired. So what have we got going on next weekend? Or next week?
Next weekend
Next Thursday?
is us kicking it.
Kicking it?
Are
Chicago?
you guys doing Chicago next weekend?
Yep.
So we'll do Chicago review next week.
Well, Chicago preview.
Preview. That means you're gonna leave me here to do the show with Kyle again, aren't you?
Unless you come to Chicago.
I can't. I have a class inside of it.
Oh, well, you could come.
I wanted to go.
Thursday,
It sounded
Friday.
like a great idea.
Okay, well. So yeah, I'm leaving you with the intern again.
Thanks. Thanks.
I can't be everywhere all at once.
Yeah, you can.
All the places.
Yeah. Parallel universe yourself.
Ooh, look what Gabe Blondis did.
Mm,
Look at those amanitas.
I love skulls and shrimps. Can I,
I
just
say
throw
that.
that out there?
Every time I see an amanita.
Yeah.
Look at those amanitas.
Look at those amanitas.
Mm-hmm.
Would you look at that? It's a pretty little amanitas. So we'll just be kicking it next week. Probably do a little inbox exploring. Probably little do I don't know, maybe I'll have somebody sneak in and come talk to us.
I wouldn't be opposed to a guest.
Aren't you gonna be gone?
I will be.
Should we try to get something here?
No, Kyle. You should know things. Do know things. Maybe we'll talk Brian in and come sitting in or see who's shaking around.
Brian,
Yeah.
like B-Rye,
Yeah.
he'll be in Chicago too. Maybe I'll talk
Yes.
him into sitting in with me.
All right, fine. Take all the cool kids. It's cool. It's cool.
Me, Brian, Jess, and Derb are kind of like the True Tubes team. I feel, you know what I realized? I'm kind of like the emotional support human out of the mix.
Yeah,
Like
that's fair.
I'll drive, I'll carry heavy things, but like when the time comes to actually like talk to people and do the things, I'm I'm just an emotional support human.
That's not your
You
part.
need coffee? I got you. You need snacks? I got you. You need drinks? I got you. But I'm like the emotional support human.
That's fair.
Like, I feel like that's
fair.
I'm there to keep company. I can talk to people though. Like, I use a lot of our stuff, most of it. I work with our machines. Like, I can run my mouth. I can tell people like, oh, your hand hurts, buy these and it won't hurt anymore. Oh, how much are they? It'll cost you $1 a setup. Have a good day.
You'll be fine.
One time I said that to a guy. They come up to the booth and he's like, what are these? And he's got his wife with him and she's looking at them. And they're looking at the True Grip 3, the barrel grip. He's looking at the gray one. She's looking at the black one. They're like squeezing them. I was like, oh, those? He's like, yeah. I was like, you just slide that over the grip of your tattoo machine and your hands aren't sore and callousy anymore. And all of your carpal tunnel symptoms will go away. And his wife hit him. She like hit him, the backhand.
Right.
She's like, I don't care what these cost, but you need these. She's like, I'm tired of hearing him complain about his hands hurting. And he's like, hold on. How much are they? I was like, they're like $1 a piece. And he was like, sold.
Oh,
They're like $1 and change a piece, but
right. Still.
yeah. The things just sell themselves. I
Yep.
just got to be like, this is what it's for. And this is how it's
This
going
is
to
the
make your
tool.
life easier.
This is what it does.
But like,
So you have that void
yeah,
in your
it's one of
life.
those things where like if you come home and you have sore hands and your loved ones know that you have sore hands because you can't hide it. Like when somebody sits and rubs their hands
Right.
together like that, it's because their hands are either cold or they hurt.
You're continually cracking your knuckles.
But if there's something that's that inexpensive that makes you that much more comfortable while you're working all day long, sell.
Well, and especially when you're dedicating 8, 10, 12 hours to a tattoo, and then
Yeah.
on top of that, you have to do it again tomorrow.
Mhm.
$1 a setup is not eating your profit margin on your tattoo of the day.
No, not when
Nope.
A, we make as much as we do, and B, when we're talking about the longevity of our hands.
Great. Concur.
Well, we've been talking about shows. I knew today was going to be a longer show because we had the 2 shows to recap.
Right.
We stayed pretty on task.
Pretty good.
We're not too many crazy rabbit holes. We're getting better at this, Ben. 2 years in, we're getting better at
You're
this.
getting okay.
And then get the intern over here,
He's trying.
all shaky hands.
He's trying. He gets an E for effort.
I'm trying to play catch up.
Poor Kyle.
Less words, Kyle.
Well, with that, I'll definitely be coming to you. Hopefully I will already be at the show and I'll be able to bring you footage as the setup is going on. If not, I will come to you from the road like usual. I'll bring my little clip in case I'm driving that I can talk. So
Okay.
should
I'll
be
hang
great.
out with Kyle.
Should be a great show though.
It's
Like
always a great show.
the Chicago show, the Phil and Art show
Oh.
should be a great show, but
Yes.
our show should be a great
Yes.
show as well.
Always.
I feel like it's getting a little bit smoother and getting a little bit easier to go with the flow on the Thursday before the show since I've done it so so frequently. There's like all these unpredictable things
Right.
that can happen. Like
Calamity of events. if you will.
so there's one thing that happens sometimes.
Just one day.
It never fails. Like I'm not the most punctual person in the world, so I have to be patient about this, but it never fails that when we're all leaving and getting ready to pull out from the warehouse, inevitably Cervena always has a tattoo appointment.
Every time.
And that tattoo appointment inevitably always runs an hour and a half over. So like
Every time.
when I have it planned out that like I'm gonna get there and have plenty of time to help carry stuff in and
Well,
then
we're
set
doing
up
we're
and
doing
find
the
a
dual
spot,
vehicles now, right?
then we are. And there's not even anything bad about it. It's just I get car sick, and I don't know if you've ridden in the back seat of a Jeep, and I don't
that's
know if
pulling
you've
the
ridden in
trailer.
the back seat of a Jeep that's pulling a trailer. But to
The
go to Detroit, I
trailer.
drove we got a U-Haul instead of a trailer U-Haul. We got
Right.
like a drivable U-Haul, one of the little pipsqueaks.
Uh-huh.
It's only a little bit bigger than my van. It was no problem.
Yeah.
It took me like 10 minutes of driving to like figure out where like the rear corners were. Golden. That's the way to do it all the time.
Right.
And gas wasn't horrendous
Right.
like it is in Dirb's Jeep pulling the trailer.
Right.
So
Yay.
you and Fandango.
Fandango. All right. Well, we'll see you next week. Thanks for chiming in to your favorite tattoo show about nothing.
We talked about this was actually a really productive show. We
It's kind of
covered
like Seinfeld.
covered 2 tattoo conventions. It really is a show about nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing and everything all at once.
You know, that's also the main theme of King of the Hill. It's a show about nothing.
Well, dang on, man.
Back on nothing.
Well,
They say that in the pilot. It's funny.
Kyle,
Kyle.
you have anything you need to add? Any cool reinventing events or anything?
No.
you
Reinventing
on the
live at
spot.
Hell City.
Reinventing live at Hell
The,
City.
the reinventing Hell City stuff just keeps growing and growing. There's going to be a pretty rad reinventing area. And then also we'll have the like tattoo collecting / photo area up by the stage too.
Yeah.
So
All up in that mother.
reinventingthetattoo.com/Hell City if you want to find out more.
Good job, Kyle.
thanks, Kyle.
Proud of you.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Hasta luego, mi amigos.
Okay, guys. Take care. Stay safe.
Bye.